Elizabeth Alice Croydon, composed by CNN Today, Adagio. Israel approves plan for Gaza's ceasefire and hostage release. 2025 Nobel Peace Prize winner to be announced. Ukraine says massive Russian attack targets energy infrastructure. Powerful quake rattles southeastern Philippines, sending panicked residents into the streets. Peru president removed from office after a string of scandals and allegations. Leo XIV speaks out on dictatorship of economic inequality and support for migrants in first major text. Israel assesses Hamas may not be able to return all remaining dead hostages, sources say. The rise of cozy coloring, finding calm in simplicity. Egyptian satirist Bassem Youssef makes comeback to state TV after more than a decade in exile. Manchester synagogue attacker pledged allegiance to ISIS, police say. Russian regions are massively boosting military sign-up bonuses to lure more people to fight in Ukraine. Hamas is demanding the release of a prominent Palestinian prisoner, says this could be a red line for Israel. At least 20 killed in Myanmar's attack as paramotors widen air war. And that's our symphony for today. It was a pleasure being your conductor. Now back to Coffee with the Dog.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh. Wake.
It doesn't even work when you push the buttons anymore. Good morning. It is Friday, as Sunshine has pointed out. Aloha. That's right, Sunshine. It's Friday. I'm surprised to make it to a Friday. I actually, there is a bit of news. Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize, and a brown woman has. So there will be a shortage of ketchup today. Because all of it's being shipped to the White House to be thrown. Other than that, I gotta move along here pretty quickly. We have a major disaster going on in my home right now. My wife can't find her glasses. That's right. My wife can't find her glasses. So Howard Bloom will be with us in the second hour, and I'm excited about that. Unless I'm still looking for glasses around the house. But for right now, I'm gonna play a brief commercial, and then have GD come in, say hello to GD, and then let him say whatever he wants to say about ketchup while I go help my wife look for glasses. How about that? Does that sound workable? I'm trying to avoid the drama that I cause. It's newsworthy drama. I'm going to try to avoid that if I can. Anyway, here we go with this.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
I don't know. Speaking of a man who has never cock-blocked anybody, except me, who's in the room with me right now, GD Fenderson. Good morning, GD.
Good morning, America. It's day 9 of our Coffee with the Dog government shutdown advent calendar. What do we have today? Why, let's see. It's Prepper Nation H. Yes, Prepper Nation H for temporary relief for the pain in the ass in the White House. We all know what the permanent relief looks like. We just have to aim high as a country. All proceeds from the sales of the government shutdown advent calendar go to a cause.
Advent.
Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
What does Advent mean? Well, I don't know. I gotta look it up. Number nine. It sounds like you're celebrating and you want this thing to be like a world record shutdown or something. It sounds like you're happy about number 9.
I'm just trying to move product. I want people to buy the shutdown advent calendar. And as a matter of fact, they're flying off the shelves. I don't even know if we have any in stock right now, but people should order them. Matter of fact, pre-order the next one. So we'll have some more. We'll have some more to sell tomorrow. But please order the Coffee with the Dog Advent Shutdown Calendar. You never know what you'll get the next day.
I know, you son of a bitch. I just like saying you son of a bitch. You son of a. Oh, there it goes with the son of a bitch. I just want to because I have a photo I would like to share. If I may share a photo, I probably can't, right? Probably can't because it's a hack. These the iPhones that's not doing JPEGs anymore. They're doing HIEC, which I don't even know what that means. So I have to share another way. Can I share another way?
Sure. Is it me or does your volume sound low to me? I just turned it up, but
my volume. Hello.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, my volume should be okay, right? Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, could be. Hello. Is that better?
Much higher.
Oh, what the hell happened there? Who turned my volume down? I know who turned my volume. See, I was trying to learn songs yesterday for a classic rock band,
Okay.
and I had different things going on. Anyway, different things.
Okay, now I can readjust my volume because you just blew my eardrum out. But that's on me because I turned you up here trying to get you. Because I assumed that nobody touches your knobs. I was wrong.
I did touch.
Well, you do. You touch your knobs.
Now
Wow.
Yes.
Is that you practicing from last night? You do? Clear off the music. That's as you learn each
calendar
song.
flying off the shelves. That's the warehouse where we keep the calendars.
Wow, Dan, that is impressive. We are selling those things like hotcakes or like advent calendars.
That's actually my local supermarket last night. And I was a little. It's not like one aisle. It's like that. The entire store.
Well, man, how big is okay, like is it a chain supermarket or is it like this is Matt's
Stop and Shop in
supermarket.
Rocky Point, New York. It's a Stop and Shop is a chain in the Northeast.
Oh yeah, I know Stop and Shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big chain.
Yeah, it's a pretty big chain, and it's not like the entire store was like this, but the entire store had shelves that were empty, produce
What
that was.
section? Okay, I just had two questions because I know, like, for example, sometimes supermarkets remodel and they have to like empty whole things out so they can move things in. Are they remodeling?
I didn't think so. I tried to get a straight answer at everybody, like, what the fuck is going on here? It felt like COVID days. Like this was what it was like in the beginning of COVID there. Uh, but I don't know. I didn't get a straight answer at it, but it definitely has me concerned. Like nobody's talking about supply lines being.
Yeah, because
Un-
I have, well, the chain that we shop at is giant, and we don't have that problem. Now we have a smaller selection of stuff. Like if we go, but we've had that since COVID. It's like once COVID hit, they said, okay, we're going to just carry the basics, and
yeah,
pet food,
but
and
they
a
went
lot of
crazy for
things are
toilet
just
paper.
gone.
Yeah, toilet paper was the thing. There was a toilet paper panic, is what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah,
we didn't worry about because we have trees.
that might have been the ketchup aisle when as soon as Trump heard that he lost to a brown woman in Venezuela. Now all this means is, first of all, he's going to be throwing ketchup all over the place today, and then he's going to bomb Venezuela some more.
But how they give up? But they like today that Peace Prize because there's categories for Peace Prize. So if she won for, let's say, chemistry, it wouldn't affect anything.
No. You got it wrong. There's the Nobel Peace Prize, and there's the Nobel Prize for chemistry, for science, chemistry, Nobel Prize for science.
Oh, okay, but the Nobel Peace Prize is for peace.
Yeah, it's for peacemakers, and I don't know what she did. The woman who won, and
She probably didn't threaten to colonize Gaza and
that's
turn it
probably
into
all
a
it takes,
strip
right?
joint.
Yeah. Yeah, she probably has a podcast. Is what happened.
Yeah, and she probably didn't threaten to bomb Gaza out of existence, and she probably didn't threaten, all the other things that Trump threatens. And she's probably not causing havoc in her own country while claiming she wants a peace prize for creating havoc on others.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's what she did,
Yeah. And
or maybe it's what she didn't do.
all these fucking ass kissers. John Fetterman. Donald Trump
Oh,
definitely
he's got
does.
to go.
He's got Pennsylvania. Recall your ogre.
Yeah, get him, put your troll back under the bridge.
Really? Can they do that? You can recall a governor. Why can't you recall a senator? I mean, this guy. Why don't he just come out and say I'm a MAGA Trumper? Why doesn't he just come out and say that? Why is he even pretending to be a decent?
I think he just wants to be a contrarian. I just think it's like what's popular. I want to do the opposite. What people expect me to wear a suit? Well, I'm not going to wear a suit.
Oh,
people expect me to be healthy. No, I'm gonna have a stroke. So he's just a contrarian.
You got something you can rant on for a minute? Because my wife is panicking that she can't find her glasses. I have to go help her find her glasses.
What's her prescription? Maybe I have something she can borrow.
17. I don't know what prescription. Eyes. Can you see?
Okay.
Can you see?
The eyes have it.
If not, I'll play a music video. But if you want to rant, I'll just let you.
I can try to rant.
All right, take.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what I'm supposed to rant about. I'm not a very rant-worthy person. I'm not one of those people that can sit there and improvise or rant. But I will tell people that I'll tell you what I will do. Again, I'm going to keep doing this every day. Well, not every day, because I actually haven't done this before. I haven't done this today. And I didn't do it yesterday. I didn't get a chance to. But plausible.com has been undergoing like a lot of reconfigurations. I talk about plausible.com a lot. PLAUZZABLE. It's like a one-stop shopping for comedy and open mics and stuff like that on your phone. So they've been under reconstruction, and not the kind like I went through back in the 1800s. I'm talking about a new reconstruction where they're reforming their site and stuff like that. And they're just about got it up and running. And you check it out. Lately, they've been running tech rehearsals so they can test out their new technology that they implemented, like screen sharing and stuff like that. They did not have that before. And I'm bringing up Plausible because I'm encouraging people to sign up for it. And if you like, and only if you like, not if you don't like, but if you like, become one of my fans on Plausible. Just go to plausible.com, look up GD Fenderson, and become a fan. And it costs you nothing to join Plausible. It costs you nothing to watch most of the stuff that's on there. Now, but if you want to see my next live performance, which is November 20th, and you're not in the Pennsylvania area, let's say you're in Europe, or you're in Africa, or you're in Maryland. You're in Maryland and you're not coming up to Pennsylvania to see me? You selfish bastard. Okay, well, that's fine. You can watch it on Plausible, and it's $5 a device. And the flyer for that show is like right there, right behind me. Maybe I should do something else with that. I'll tell you who's on the show. Why don't I do that? I can tell you who's on the show. Better yet, why don't I do this? I was not prepared for this, but let's try this. I'm going to look for the promotional video, the one that they let me show on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, because I had three and I had four, and three of them got taken down because we were using a song parody in it, and the song parody was of short people, and we just called it old people. I called it old people, and they had me take it down in a lot of places. So, but here we go, and let's try this one. I guess it takes a second. Oh, wow. Okay, this is new to me. It used to, if I added a video, it just showed up right away. Now I just went to the stage and I can just add it on manually. The Church of Satire Comedy Club presents Funny Old Farts, featuring G.D. Fenderson. You know you want it, you dirty little bird. Walter Gottlieb.
Okay, who's got their hand on my ass?
David Yakeley.
Pigeons taste like chicken.
And Sandy Bernstein as the Beaver.
I deserve to be pampered.
Come and experience Funny Old Farts on November 20th at 7 p.m. at the Church of Satire Comedy Club at 106 Broadway in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Tickets are $15 and are available online at churchofsatirecomedyclub.com and at the door. You must be 18 or over to get in, and as always, it's BYOB. Funny Old Farts. We've seen some shit. And you can too, on November 20th at the Church of Satire Comedy Club at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. If you cannot make it to Hanover, you can watch it live on plausible.com/GDFenderson for $5 per device. Oh shit! I didn't realize I was muted until just now. Okay, and thank you thank you, Sunshine, for signing up, and thank y'all for letting me know I was muted. But I wasn't looking at the screen. I was actually reading that stuff, and I'll read it again. Right? Okay. This is what this is what my lips were saying. Damn, this is what my lips were saying when there was no sound. And thank you, and I was muted because of the video, and I didn't unmute myself. Okay, like I said, Walter Gottlieb is based out of D.C. He's performed around the country, New York, Greenwich, Greenwich, Greenwich Village Comedy Club, Broadway Comedy Club, showcases, L.A. Flappers. And he produces showcases and open mics in Maryland with his partner in crime, Sandy Bernstein. And he's a regular host at Give a Hoot Comedy Club and a co-producer of the DMV Comedy of the Year competition. Now, DMV to a lot of people means Department of Motor Vehicles. In comedy, in the Maryland, DC, Virginia area, they call this DC, Maryland, Virginia, the DMV. They're snobs. They're fucking snobs like that. Because a lot of us go to Pennsylvania to do comedy. That's not included. And some of us go to Delaware to do comedy. That's not included. See, they're such pricks. The DMV, it's like they're the center of the comedy universe, and we're not. They're not. But anyway, that's just my pet peeve. I don't think much of comedians. Sorry. And now Sandy Bernstein is one of the house MCs at Give a Hoot Comedy Club in Gaithersburg, Maryland. She hosts weekend shows with nationally touring comedians. She has appeared at clubs and festivals around the country, including the DC Improv, Baltimore Comedy Factory, Baltimore Laugh Factory, Comic Strip Live in New York, LA comedy clubs like Flappers in Vegas, the Comedy World Series of Comedy. Now, Sandy and I have been doing comedy for about the same amount of time. I've been doing it for 11 years. I think she's also 11 years in. Now, what I did not know until I actually paid attention to this is David Yakeley, the other member of the Funny Old Farts. He's also the oldest member. That's why I wanted him on the show. I don't know how much longer he has to live. I really don't. He's in his late 70s, early 80s. I have no idea. But he's been doing comedy for 21 years, and he's also a professional actor. I'm saying professional. I don't know how much he gets paid. Because, like, I'm a professional comedian on paper, but not by lifestyle, unless barely getting paid to do comedy is the lifestyle. So let me get this out of here. Let me solo myself out. There we go. So check it out. Like I said, go to plausible.com. Check that out. And if you become a fan, and it's not just me, there's like hundreds of comedians on plausible.com. So you can look around for other comedians that in your area, or maybe not in your area, people that you would never see any other way because they're not nationally touring comics yet, but you may see them on Plausible. Now, I don't know. I guess, okay, I'm going to tell you just like I tell everybody else. I haven't seen her glasses. I didn't touch them. Like, I don't touch people's glasses because sometimes they go right back to them. Now, I used to wear glasses. I don't wear them anymore. But when I got my first pair of glasses, I was like 30 something years old. My doctor says, your vision is going to get worse. And I was having these tremendous headaches whenever I drove. When I noticed I couldn't see road signs very far away. And it turns out I was just spoiled. I was just spoiled. When my eyesight got bad, it got to 2030. Yeah. My eyesight was 2015, 2012, something like that. 2015, I think. Before I started needing glasses. And now my eyesight is 2020. And I'm trying to get back to where I used to be. So when I needed glasses, I bought a pair of glasses like $180. The frames I liked. Now, I don't know how many of you have been wearing glasses for a long time, but for the most part, when you pick a pair of glasses, you pick ones that you like, that fit your face, and it becomes like part of your personality. And my glasses have become part of my personality for a few years. And I lost them. And I lost them after like maybe 3 years. They didn't make those frames anymore. So I had to go through the agony of picking new frames again and trying them on and so forth. And this is way before you could try on glasses virtually. On the internet. You try them, was it Warble Parker, Warber, whatever they are. The ones that say, you can try them on. I couldn't. This is like over 30 years ago. I had to go into the iPlace and try on glasses, try on glasses, try on glasses, try on glasses, try on glasses. And then I found a pair that I liked, another $180. And then I get home and I find the other glasses that I had lost, which is why I bought those glasses. Fast forward 3 more years, and at the time I was traveling on the road a lot. I was driving around the country working a lot, and so since I had 2 pairs of glasses, I kept one, and I only needed them for driving. I kept 1 pair in the car and 1 pair in my work vehicle. So they're separate. Kept them so whichever vehicle I got in, no matter when I got to them, there's a pair of glasses there. And I went to get my vehicles detailed. So I took everything out of my vehicles to get them detailed and went to put everything back in. And again, I only needed my glasses when I drove. Sorry, not just to drive, but to drive at night. I didn't even need them to drive in the daytime, just at night. Then I went to look for them. I couldn't find either pair. Both pair are lost. My first wife, the one that tried to Al Green me, my first wife, was not interested in helping me find my glasses. She kept saying, "Oh yeah, they're not in here." Nope, they're not in here. Lazy. Didn't lift a finger to help me find my glasses. So after a while, I gave up looking. I said, I gotta buy another fucking pair of glasses. So I go back to the store, and they still don't have the virtual thing. So I'm trying on glasses, till I finally find another pair of glasses that fit my face. And I get home, and within a couple of weeks, I find the other 2 pair of glasses. Now I have 3 pairs of glasses, all of them costing between $150 and $180. And now I don't need glasses at all. And I still have them all. Now I haven't lost a pair. I have not lost one single pair. Thank you, Mr. Slaptail. He says it was better without sound. All right, fine. I don't know how it's going to take him to start this thing, and I don't know what to. Okay. I'm trying not to be the thing that I hate, which is when people who are humorous and comedians are asked to vamp for a while, they start going into their material and they just start telling you the jokes that they would tell on stage. And I'm trying really hard not to do that because I hate that. I don't want to be that person. So I'm trying not to be that person. Let me get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. So now you saw the thing I played. What do you think of it? Honestly, put your opinions in the thing. What you actually think of it. Yes, I'm back. Thank you. Thank you, Anne in California. Now, in about 30 minutes, let me tell you a little bit about our guest. Our guest today is going to be Howard Bloom. Apparently, Matt has had interactions with him before. His latest book is called The Case of the Sexual Cosmos. And Matt is excited about that book. I'm going to wait to find out what it's about. Because sexual cosmos means something totally different to me than it might mean to someone else. Let's see here. It says equal parts cosmic manifesto, evolutionary biology, and radical philosophy. This book asks the biggest questions of all. What if sex is more than reproduction? What if it's the driving force behind consciousness, civilization, and the very architecture of the universe? Okay, I kind of agree with that concept. I don't call it sex, though. I don't remember what we called it back when I was a minister, but the same concept, but we just didn't call it sex, I think. I think we called it fucking. I had to look that up in my book, in my notes. So, let's see here. What else can I do for you till Matt comes back? Because I have news. See, Matt likes to rant. I don't like to rant. He likes to talk about things that get on his nerves. I don't have a lot of things that get on my nerves. I mean, I don't like the way the country is going. I really don't like the way Michael Johnson, I don't know what his middle name is, because if I was like his mom, I would call him by his full name. Because the man's a dick and a hypocrite. But so, Michael is his middle name. His name is James Michael Johnson. Okay. Well, from now on, when I talk about him, I'm going to call him James Michael Johnson, because he does not deserve. He should not be called by that cute moniker, Mike Johnson, like he's cute and cuddly. No, James Michael Johnson. He needs to go back to. Thank you. Go back to fucking work. Let me see. Any plans for this weekend? What's today? Today's the 10th. Okay. Well, tomorrow I'm going to check out. I think I haven't checked. I'm not certain yet. I may go check out a comedian named Adam Gable. And not because I know who he is or anything like that, but some friends of mine said that they were meeting up there for drinks at that club for drinks, and they wanted to know if I wanted to come. And I'm still thinking about it. Matter of fact, I hadn't even mentioned it to my wife yet because I just thought about it. I found out about it last night while she was sleeping, and I wasn't going to wake her up to see, if she would miss me for a few hours on Saturday night. She was, like I said, she was sleeping, and then this morning I wake up. We have our schedules are very, very opposite each other until around 7 o'clock, and when we sit together and we watch television and talk. But like, she goes to bed like around between 8 and 9, and I'm sitting up at my computer, even working on comedy or stuff like that, until like around midnight. Then I'll go to bed. Then the cat wakes me up so that she can go outside, but she doesn't want to go outside for very long. She only goes outside for like a half an hour, and so I have to sit up with her for a half an hour while she goes outside, and then I'll go back to bed, and then she'll wake me up in like another hour or so to go outside for half an hour. So I get up and I'll sit and wait for her to come back in. Now, about a week or two ago, I fell asleep during this procedure, and I had the back door open, waiting for the cat to come in, but the cat had come in like an hour ago, and she was on the bed, and I was asleep, waiting for her to come in, and I wake up, and there was a raccoon. A raccoon is in the dining room eating the food. Now, fortunately, it's a raccoon. I know it's Reggie, so I know he's healthy, but he's never been in the house. I always fed him outside. But I guess there was no food outside. He said, "Hey, the door's open," and he came in and ate. So I don't know what plans I have for this weekend. I will probably, if I don't go to the Church of Satire Comedy Club for drinks with some of my friends, then I'll probably be home helping the Reverend write for Sunday shows, because I do help the Reverend write his material for Sundays, the 12th. Well, the Sunday shows. I do that with him on Saturday night, like around midnight or so. Between 11 and midnight is when I help him. What else is going on today? We could do some more. Oops, sorry. I got confused for a second. I forgot what I was trying to do. I apologize. I'm gonna do this for a sec. I'm gonna do this. Where is it? Oh my God, it's gone. Okay. Here we go. No. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna play another video of news and stuff, but I just don't feel like it. Now, this is I don't know what next week's guests are. I don't look that far in advance because I let Matt handle that stuff. There's some things I just don't care about on a microcosm level. You know, some things just like, okay, when it happens, it happens. You know, I don't, because people schedule things. Like for example, I do a thing called done way past funny, and for the longest time, there was like I could not keep up with the production of all the interviews that I was doing for Done Way Past Funny. And then this summer hit, and people kept scheduling and canceling because, oh, now I'm going on vacation, scheduling and canceling. And a lot of people I never rescheduled. And so I've had this dry spell of interviews on Done Way Past Funny because some of the people that I wanted to get on the show kept rescheduling. And so now they're out to like the fall, which is now. So maybe I'll start doing those shows again. But their past episodes are Done Way Past Funny on YouTube, on Spark TV, and on Roku. On Knob TV, which is on Roku, KNOB TV on Roku. And like those are all past episodes. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. The first 3 or 4 episodes are really rough. My co-host was in the middle of being homeless, and he didn't want to tell me that he was in the middle of being homeless. He and his wife had like a fight or something, and she kicked him out of the house. And so when it was time to do the show, he was like an Uber driver. And he didn't want to tell me he was an Uber driver, but he was like recording the shows from the car. And the signal would be cutting in and out because he's driving around. And he wasn't paying attention to the guests we were interviewing. So we'd have the guests and they would be talking. And then he'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah. And that's it. And so after like the first 2 episodes, by the 3rd episode, maybe the 4th, I think it was the one I did with Dylan Brody. I kept pretending that I can't remember my co-host's name. That's how long ago it was, and that's how long ago time-wise it was. But that's also how emotionally detached I am from him. I can't remember his name, but I used to say that he was lost in an airport, and so he's running a little late. Or I'd say he's out shopping for shoes, so he's running a little late. So I would pretend that he's still part of the show, and just say that he's running late, but he'll be there later. And I think my interview with Dylan Brody, which was like 3 hours. If you want to learn about Dylan Brody, Tommy Chong, Perry Katz, those were the 3 longest interviews I have. And when I say the longest, I mean like somewhere between 3 and 5 hours. But you don't watch it all at one time. I got them in like 30-minute segments, little chunks. And even then, not the whole time, because some of the interview was like, it's not interviews like the green room stuff. Like after the interview is over, we're still talking. Not like now. We're actually having conversation and stuff like that. Yeah, so check out past episodes of Dumb Way Past Funny. Now, let's see here. I'm just going to look up the headlines real quick to see what else is going on. The shit. What's her name? Letitia James. She got indicted yesterday. Now, for those of you who don't know much about that process, a grand jury, well, first of all, the Halligan, I think, is the prosecutor, Halligan. She's never prosecuted a case, or until I think last week. And actually, I don't think she still has prosecuted a case, but she got an indictment for James Comey about 10 days ago. And that was like the first time she's done something like that. This is the second time. So up until 2 days ago, up until 10 days ago, if you were a bag boy at a supermarket, you had more court experience or more prosecutorial experience than she did. So the reason they say that a good DA can indict a ham sandwich is because, okay, for example, the grand jury in this case has like 23 people in it. You only have to get 12 of them to say, yeah, it's possible that this person committed a crime. And you never hear the other side. You're only hearing one side. You're hearing the DA's arguments or the prosecutor's arguments. That's all you're getting to hear. You don't hear any defense or anything from the defense as a general rule of thumb. So they can say whatever they want. No one can challenge them. Sometimes the grand jury members can ask a question, but
get off my side. All right, that's better. Go ahead. You were saying somebody asking questions about you can't ask, but what I wanted to ask. What were you asking? You were asking a question.
It's not often that I'm happy to see you, Matt, but where were the glasses?
They're not. We haven't found the glasses. Found an old pair that hopefully she won't crash into anything wherever she's going. And I have no idea where the glasses are. I don't know. And the bed is way too fucking. It's made out of fucking marble and stone and gold, and weighs about 5,000 pounds.
So this is like the bed from the Iliad? Was it the
Something
Odyssey?
You know what? If it's Murphy's Law, I live in Murphy's house. This is Murphy. I don't know. You're not Irish, are you? You don't look Irish to me.
I'm familiar with Murphy's Law, though.
Oh, Eddie Murphy's Law.
Yeah,
because it's fucking.
If it's raw, put it back in the oven.
And I'm trying to turn my light on because the only light I have available, I could have looked downstairs and gotten a real flashlight, but I'm using my phone. And in the middle of my phone, my heart rate monitor is going off. Like, that's all I fucking need. And now it's turning the phone off.
Now, is your heart rate monitor going off because of the stress of looking for the glasses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It wants me to die today. And today, you know what? It's a Friday. I don't want to die on a Friday. I want to die on a Monday.
Now, speaking of dying on a Friday, because you have a show this evening.
No.
Wait a minute. I thought you learned 50 songs yesterday for tonight's show.
Yeah.
Want to talk about it?
Not really. Not really. I'm just kind of calming down my heart rate monitor now. I learned a lot of stuff. Are you familiar with the concept of a toilet?
Yeah.
That's my life. It's just waiting for somebody to come on and hit the flush. That's all.
Do you know that a good toilet, you don't really even have to hit flush. You could just throw more water on top.
You're thinking about like newfangled.
No. I'm just saying you could just get a gallon of water and pour it on top, and because that's how it works. It's just the pressure. It's just air pressure and gravity. That's the whole. That's all.
If I test this and then there's water all over my bathroom, then my heart rate is going to go even higher. And then
it's not. It's science. It's not a test. It's science. You put let's say a gallon of water, and I'm not saying just slowly. If you pour it in slowly, it goes down slowly. If you pour it in like in one big thing, it goes just like that. Because that's how you can flush a toilet. Yeah, because like Now I know that because we have well water.
Not so well. Unwell water.
Yeah, we have well water.
Unwell.
And so if we lose
Duck,
power, we don't have water.
All right, yeah.
Which means if we flush the toilet, we can't flush it a second time because there's nothing to pump the water back into.
You live in the 1890s. I live in the early 1900s. It's a whole difference. And I should be living in the 21st century, but I'm not.
Well, I have like 12 gallons of water downstairs in the basement just for flushing the toilet for if we lose power.
All right.
12 gallons. 12 gallons, which is basically 12 flushes.
All right. Forget the toilet water analogy for now, please. I'm sorry I brought it up.
All right.
This woman won the Nobel Peace Prize for keeping the flame of democracy burning amidst a growing darkness.
And Trump is burning democracy.
He is the glowing darkness or growing darkness. Yes.
Yeah.
He said yesterday or the day before he wants to do good so God will be happy with him.
Bullshit. He doesn't believe in God.
I can tell that's the number one part of it, but somebody should read like Beatitudes to him or something, right? Like everything you stand for is not doing good. Do you even know what good means? So blessed are the meek. That's what I should say to him. But nobody has the balls to say that to him. Now, I don't want to get too deep in but the world, every fucking day, they give us more to fucking freak out about. And I freak out about it. I take the bait every fucking day. How do I stop taking the bait?
I don't have an answer for you.
Where do I go to get my answers, damn it?
Well, Ron will be here in about 12 minutes.
Wow, are we back later? Holy fuck, I spent that long looking for glasses.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't find them.
And I'm sure the audience was like really like, Jesus, GD, I thought you were better at vamping.
Oh.
I am better at vamping, I guess. I'm just.
You're not a vampire.
No.
You're an umpire.
And I was trying just really hard. You know, my default position when I have to vamp is to want to run through material.
Oh.
And I don't like that. I hate that. Yeah. I hate when comedians do that. And so that would be my comfort zone. Just start doing material that I've been doing for years, you know, even though it's like new to them, I guess, you know, because like I don't think anybody's paid attention to my second special, The Disillusionist, or the third one, Psych Comedy 101, The Jokes Less Traveled, or Psych Comedy 102, Shoulda Coulda Woulda Told That Joke. You know?
Apparently,
yeah,
the administration, people who call themselves the administration, can't stop themselves from like accidentally leaking stuff. Maybe they should get the pens or something. Pam Bondi leaked an image that blows up, and I haven't gone a deep dive in all these. These are just headlines. Pam Bondi leaked an image that blows up Trump's Epstein scandal. I think it's a picture of Pam Bondi with Trump and Epstein's behind her, and somehow she shared that to somebody, and it got caught, like, and somebody published it. Trump leaks crazy text. Pam Bondi's notes were caught in a photo. It's just everywhere they go. He's sending memos that should be sent to the DOJ and posting them on Truth Social accidentally. We have Marco Rubio asking him about, can we post this to your Truth Social? So it doesn't even seem like he's posting it. So, and nobody knows how to use the internet over there, like safely without sending stuff to, I don't know, whoever you send stuff to. Look, I never even hit go on Instagram. I'm all flustered today. It's a Howard Bloom type of day. Anyway, they're just leaking stuff. Are you up to date with this leaking stuff?
Not all the leaks. The last leak that I became aware of was when Trump posted the Pam Bondi thing, and you know
that was like 3 or 4 days ago, right, or a week ago.
Right? Yeah. Well, yeah. He sent that a while ago, like maybe 3 weeks ago, but they're just finding out now that he didn't mean to post it. It was meant to be a personal communique. And here's the thing about Trump. Remember, in Trump 1.0, He did not send messages through devices. Remember, he didn't want that trail. If he wanted to send a text, he'd borrow somebody else's phone, not his.
I did not know that. So, but he'd have to log into like Twitter or wherever he was on their phone.
But that's different. Truth Social is different. But if he wanted, let's say he wanted to send a message to Pam Bondi that said, "I want these motherfuckers arrested today." Let's say that's the message he wanted to send to Pam Bondi. He would not have done it on his own phone. Trump 1.0 would have looked over and said, excuse me, whoever's chief of staff is.
OPIX. He would have went to OPIX.
No, he'd have gone to whoever's chief of staff is standing there. He'd have gone like, let's say, General Mike. Let me hold your phone. And he had sent the message, so it looks like he's sending it to her. So if anything ever happens and they start gathering up phones and devices, Trump's fingerprints isn't on it. But that was back when he was less cocky about the Department of Justice. Now he's so cocky, he thinks that he's just getting sloppy. He's like, I can do what I want because they're not going to do anything to me. They're my people.
My peoples.
Yeah, so he's getting sloppy now. Trump 1.0 would not have done that.
Yeah.
But Trump 2.0, he's so cocky and he's so busy trying to enrich himself. Like I said, he's barely hanging on. That's why he has to keep doing the things he's doing to keep us off balance.
He went to the hospital the other day, and they said it was for his annual yearly checkup. But he went to his annual yearly checkup in April. So either the years are going a lot faster.
Well, dog years.
Oh, that's fair, I guess.
Because his doctor is a veterinarian, not a veteran.
On Twitter, I've been on Twitter. I hate to disappoint you. I've been on Twitter.
Okay.
What did I call Pam Bondi? Lion skanky cunt or something. But it got like hundreds and hundreds. I guess a lot of people hate Pam Bondi, Al Bundy to Pam Bondi. I lost the thing where I called, but hundreds of people like, oh yeah, that's perfect. Perfect articulation of what she's just totally corrupt because she was talking about our integrity is everything. I'm like, stop the fucking shit, you fucking lying cunt. You are bending over backwards to protect the pedophile, and there's no way, no matter how many times and Kash Patel with the transparency is everything, and there's one set of laws for everybody. Come on, man. Why you're going by the Trump art of the deal? If you say something 13 times, if you repeat a lie 13 times, people will believe it. That's the Trump rule. I don't know if you got the.
Well, it wasn't his rule. He just adopted it. It was the Nazi rule.
I think the 13 times came from Trump. I mean, it used to be if you repeat a lie often enough.
Yeah,
he came up with 13.
But Trump likes to make up numbers.
Yeah.
He likes to make up numbers, and then if it turns out 13 isn't right, he goes, I never said 13. I said 1300.
Right.
Well, if you tell lies from the 1300s, eventually becomes true.
Yeah. It's just it's fucking exhausting. Aren't you? How do you not be exhausted? Anyway, speaking of exhaustion, Ron's going to come on at 10 o'clock. He's going to be totally bored with Howard Bloom. Now, I love Howard Bloom, and I find him interesting and exciting. But Ron is going to be like, yeah, where's my fucking sound effects? And I just don't want that with Howard. I want to let him talk about the sexual cosmos. I'm still not understanding it. I probably won't understand it even if he talks about it.
Well, you may understand it once he and I talk about it.
Oh, you know it? You got it?
Well, I'm familiar with it's not an original concept. And so it's something that we discussed back when I was studying to be a minister.
Do you want to wait, or do you want to kind of clue me in now?
I'll wait because I'm interested in his take. And again, this is just stuff that I discussed. I learned about 30 some odd years ago. So it's not like fresh in my brain. It's just like part of It's like part of the family tree. I don't know everything, but I just know where it comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details of the branches and the leaves. I just know where it comes from.
In the book description, it says something about, I'm going to ask him about this, but I'll say it now because it says Helen Zuman. I don't know who Helen Zuman is. She's a reviewer of the book. She says the case for sexual cosmos pulls us out of the Greta Thunberg's self-hate machine. Why is everybody picking on little Greta? Well, she's not little anymore, but self-hate machine. Greta's self-hate machine.
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
You know about white self-hate, right? White guilt, that kind of thing. But I think human guilt is what they're talking about the climate change. This is where, and this is my guess of what Dopey Helen means. It basically, how she's blaming humans for climate change, and that's self-hate. Like, oh, I hate myself.
No, it's cause and effect. It's look in the fucking mirror, because we have done things to this planet that was not meant to be done to this planet, and you can tell that by the way it's poisoning. We're abusing it. It's like if you take a relationship, and let's say you have two spouses.
I don't want to take a relationship.
I'm just saying, for example, you have two spouses and a family. You have two spouses in a family, and one member of the spouse is abusing the entire household. Okay, the whole household now suffers. If you compare it to a healthy household, it does not look like a healthy household. But because everybody's trying to maintain the household, everybody starts to adapt in different ways. So the let's say the wife, instead of standing up to the husband like she used to, he says something and she cowers and she flinches, and now she controls the kids so that they don't grow and become individuals. So it's that kind of thing. We are abusing the planet like an abusive father abuses his family and kids. And so the house is still there. The kids are still there. The mom is still there. He hasn't killed them yet, but they've all developed these awful tics to survive.
They don't know how to run away, because that was my strategy even as a kid.
Yeah, but you had acid.
Just leave.
You had acid, and so you were exposed to. Your brain was already exposed to different things. I mean, and sometimes they do run away. I ran away at age 6. No, I'm sorry, kindergarten. I was in kindergarten. I ran away. So it wasn't age 6. It was age 4 to 5. I ran away from home. And I lasted like 5 hours. I got really hungry and really cold. Because you know something? It is not a good thing to run away from home in November. Or in December.
Oh yeah, in the north, definitely. If you're gonna do that, you should be living in California or something.
Right. I was 4 to 5 years old because I was in kindergarten. I was upset. I ran away from home, and it was, like I said, it was winter.
We're listening to a story about GD's mom kicking him out of the house when he was 4. Told him, go get a job. Go get a job. Get out of the house. Good morning, Ron. Ron Kane, who is going to be falling asleep in a few minutes when Howard Bloom gets here. So we're glad to aid you in your nap time today.
Okay.
How you doing? You're going to be bored with Howard. But Howard, maybe not. Maybe you'll tell him the whole cosmos is bisexual, because whatever he's going to say about sexuality and stars or something. But how things with you? Things are good?
Yeah, I mean, not too bad. My mom is, still in her doing her thing.
How is that wearing on you? Because you know what? This is gonna sound like I'm a fucking dick, and I am a dick. But I don't want to sound like I'm a dick. But it really is tough on the family, and when they linger like that. Like, it's one thing to die suddenly. It's another thing to die slowly of a disease. It's a whole other thing. Like my mom went through 20 years of I'm dying. Like, oh wow, this is going on a long time. I got to train. I do sound like a dick, but it's tough on the family, right?
I mean, there's really no good way to talk about it, honestly, without sounding like either too harsh or like so nice that it just sounds condescending.
I think there is a nice way, but it feels like when I said it, it felt like people were judging me like I'm being full of shit. I was when my father was doing this and like just going on to, he was basically just a body and he wasn't even communicating anymore. I was wishing for peace for him, like end his suffering. You know what? I know we say enjoy the suffering here a lot, but
Yeah.
end
Well,
his suffering. You know?
yeah, I mean, I think for me, the worst of it was like over the summer, like midsummer, when things really started taking a turn. And that's like when a lot of that hit me. But now, like, I'm like in acceptance, the acceptance phase, I guess. And so now I'm just kind of waiting for her to pass. Like, she's told me she hates it, and now she's losing like 2.5 pounds a week now.
Wow.
Yeah. So if she makes it to December, I would be very, very surprised.
Oh boy. Oh boy. She's communicative, right?
Yeah, it's hard for her to talk because the whole Parkinson's
Yeah.
and the throat muscles, but she
My
can still talk.
sister-in-law Janine passed like a year ago, a year ago, a couple of days ago, and I was full of guilt because I never got a chance to go and tell her how much I appreciate her and what she meant to me. And I'm gonna get choked up now, but I knew she was not communicative, and that was really difficult because it's hard. I only found out, I didn't know she was dying until 2 days before she died, and I was like, "Can I go to the hospital and see her?" She won't know you're there. It's like, oh, I got so much I gotta say to her. Like, you know what? So at least you can tell your mom you love her and tell her how much you appreciate her and all that stuff. That's one little blessing, I guess. I feel for you, man. Life
Thank you.
sucks. Life sucks. It definitely
Yeah,
does.
but I mean, the other side of it is it's actually been making me very creative and like creative in a good way because when I went through bad stuff before, like a lot of that dark stuff really came to the surface. And now, like has come to the surface, but I've actually learned how to really manage it.
Wow, good for you. All right, moving on to another subject here.
Yeah.
Slaptail is in the audience. He says he knows more about GD than I know about my own brother that I grew up with. Ditto. No, I know a lot about my brother, but almost everything could be used against him in a court of law. But he doesn't talk about. He doesn't talk about himself in revealing ways. The only way I know about stuff is because I witnessed his crimes.
Like I said, when I'm put on, like, I don't have a problem doing, like, the Reverend can rant for an hour, and that's fine. But that's a character. And when it's me, he like this, it's hard for me to talk.
Wait, the
for an
Reverend's
hour
a
like
character?
that. Yeah, he's a
Fuck.
character.
How did
No,
I
I
not
don't
pick
know.
up on
No,
that?
I don't mean a character like somebody made him up. I mean like he's a character. Like he's a character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how did I miss that? I mean, I'm usually
Yeah.
pretty good at picking up on things like that.
Yeah, no, he's a character. But I'm not big on. I know it sounds like I'm big on talking about myself, but it's gotta have context. I don't like doing it for an hour or 20 minutes without context.
Context.
Yeah.
Let me speaking of character, well, not character.
And you should have and you can tell that, Matt, because the numbers dropped precipitously when you left, and I had to go rant after like 2 minutes. It was like the numbers were like almost everybody was gone.
Really? Usually it works the other way. I walk into a room and everybody leaves. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
no, I'm watching the numbers drop and I'm starting to feel worse. I'm going, God damn it! You had
it's
one
not
job.
You. Don't take it personally.
No, I had one job, and I'm watching.
No, let me just explain to you what it is. They saw the word "sexual" in the title, and let's watch that. And then it's two dudes. I'm out of here. And then it was one dude. Like, we're not watching one dude have sex. So that's why they left. I want to talk about character because our friend John Bieberman, the Beatman, Slaptail Nation. He wants me to do a painting of Bigfoot and Mothman and another
Together?
character I had never heard of, another monster from West Virginia. I forget the name, like Brexit, and it's not Brexit, but it's like that, something like that.
Brexit is a monster,
I
but
know.
it's on the other side of the ocean.
Yeah, well, it's something like Brexit. Maybe he'll clear it up if he's still in the chat room what the name of this character is. But I had to go look it up. What is this thing? This is what it looks like. Now, that doesn't look like a monster. This is in West Virginia. That looks like I don't know.
Kid's toy.
A what?
That looks like a bad kid's toy.
Right. Now, that's obviously a rendition of what it
that's not a photograph?
I don't think so. Nobody photographed
I was wondering how somebody got that close with their phone to take that picture and not get eaten.
So there's a couple of things here. It's Mothman, Bigfoot, and that thing hanging out together is what he wants. Maybe I don't know if I'm ruining his the Flatwoods monster nicknamed Braxy, not Brexit. Braxy. Where does Braxy come from? Anyway, Mothman, that one I never even heard of before. Braxy, West Virginia, but Mothman. I think there's a different Mothman. I don't know if even they're different Bigfoot, right? So,
see, I think you're thinking of the Bigfoot franchise. I mean, there was one Bigfoot, and then he couldn't be everywhere at once. So they started to franchise out. As a matter of fact, Bigfoot is just a Yeti franchise. You know,
it was Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, the Abominable Snowman.
Right, those are all different franchises, and they're changing the name so they can avoid being sued in court. So they're saying like, well, this is Yeti, and they're like, well, we're Bigfoot, we're not the same. So, well, what's the difference? Yeti goes like, well, I'm in the Alps. I mean, I'm in the Himalayas, and I'm white. Okay, and then Bigfoot goes, and I'm not like you, I'm brown, and so you can avoid the lawsuit. And then there's Sasquatch, who walks upright all the time and has an awful smell, but Bigfoot smells like, maybe roses and attar, ATTAR, whatever that is.
There is different. People have described different.
Right, it's a franchise thing. It's just like a McDonald's burger and a Burger King burger and a Wendy's burger. They all have burgers in them, right? But there's something different, so that there's their own little special things for copyright and trademarking purposes.
Right,
and if you open up your burger shop,
my challenge here, as an artist, I want to be correct. I want to be like I want to get it right. And there's so many different images of these things and none of them are photographs. Like baseline, I don't have a model to work with. It's a little intimidating, but I'm up for the challenge. But
okay, this is just an artistic thing. Take a hit of acid. Okay.
No.
Sit out in the woods.
Never again. No. At DMT, yeah, but no. Mushrooms.
But where are you going to get DMT at this late hour? Acid,
I can't get it at all, because if I ask where they buy it, look, the fucking narc's trying to set us up. Look, I look like a narc, so I can't get anything.
Well, get yourself a mouth. Okay, mushrooms. Get some mushrooms and sit in your chair and stare at the woods, and your mind is going to.
Day.
Yeah, but I'm saying you have to be something with a little bit more kick than your pot. And especially
I really feel, because of like a couple years ago when they came out and talked about UFOs or whatever. Ever since that happened, it seems like the UFO people and the Bigfoot people have just been increasingly sad and despondent that it's all bullshit.
Are they? They think it's. And I think they're more juiced up to say, well, they're proving this stuff. I don't know. I don't see anybody saying it's all bullshit. They're all like, they're still saying they're covering up the good shit, but they're not saying it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I just feel like they've definitely lost their dick.
All right. The Bigfoot people. I sent Slaptail some paranormal people to talk to on his podcast last night. A whole list of them, but I'm going through them. I have so many of them, and then finding their context because I haven't talked to them in years. But I would start with Ron Moorhead on that list I gave you, John. It is Ron Moorhead is the author of Quantum Bigfoot, and his claim is that Bigfoot is what we're evolving into, not a missing link from the past, but a missing link from the future. And he can go between parallel universes and all this kind of stuff. It's kind of out there, even for a guy like me who's talked to people from Mars and whatever.
Here's a quick correlation that anyone can do. If you know somebody that's in the Bigfoot, most of the time they don't have a father, or they never had a father figure in their life. So just accept it that these are broken people and they're looking for something that they will never get.
I haven't heard that theory before, the broken father Bigfoot correlation.
And now, but now that you mentioned it, Ron, I'm starting to look. I'm going through the people that I know that and I'm seeing the pattern. I am.
Well, because everybody you know is black, right? And that's why they.
No, I know some white people who. I only know one black person who is actually like a Bigfoot believer.
All right.
Yeah, Bigfoot believers are definitely all whites.
My Howard Bloom is here, and I'm excited to talk to Howard Bloom. I haven't talked to him in about 5 years. He's one of the smartest people in the world, and we're all going to feel stupid, especially me. And I don't like feeling stupid, but I like the way Howard makes me realize how little I know about things. Last time he told me about his bagel theory. And I'm certain he probably regrets that because I have misrepresented his ideas to a world full of people now. Because, of course, I didn't get it right. Anyway, he's in Howard Bloom is one of the foremost thinkers and people who are advancing our understanding of the world. And he has a new book out called The Case of the Sexual Cosmos. He's here now, and I appreciate him being here. Let's say hello to the brilliant Howard Bloom.
Matt, hi. I'm sorry I so disabled you with bagels 5 years ago.
Well, you hurt yourself because I am out there trying to communicate your idea in my stupid way, and people are saying, "What the hell are you talking about? It makes no sense." You got to talk to Howard. He made it sound so simple that I thought I could explain it to people. We were talking about the case of the sexual cosmos. GD says he's heard of this kind of idea before. Like it's not an original idea. I think he's lying.
No, GD, I hate to say this, but how can I put this? That's wrong. This is a very original book. And it's not about a Cosmos going out and seeking sex at night when his wife has fallen asleep.
That's not what I'm thinking it is.
Tell me what you're thinking, and I'll tell you what.
Yeah, please.
Okay, when I was back 30 some odd years ago, and I was studying to be a minister, our school of thought was theosophy.
Right.
So, are you familiar with theosophy?
Well, way back, it's table tappings and summoning.
No. I'm talking about
Didn't start with those people.
Table tapping.
I'm talking about more along the philosophical lines. I'm not talking about people trying to do seances and raise the dead. I'm not talking Aleister Crowley stuff. I'm talking more like Manly P. Hall.
I think it was Madame Blavatsky.
Madame Blavatsky. Yeah,
right.
I'm speaking more people on lines like Manly P. Hall and stuff like that. Even Rosicrucians,
right.
They talk about the sexual, or not even the masculine and feminine energies of the universe, and they basically talk about that. But it's not sex per se. It's not like fucking. It's more like the energies get together to create new things, new forms of themselves.
Right. Well, this one's a little bit different. There's this thing in science called the law of least effort. Nature always takes the shortest path between 2 points. Nature always finds the least, the path that costs the least energy.
Right.
And
lightning going to ground or water.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And it works for certain things, but it really doesn't work for the cosmos as a whole. And how can we tell? Because sex, which is a product of this cosmos, it's as natural as raindrops. Sex is the longest possible point you can even think of. People with Mensa degrees cannot tell you step by step the sexual process. They can't tell you on the molecular level. They can't tell you on the cellular level. and look at how many romance books have been written.
Okay, but see, if we're saying, because of course there's some things that as you get closer to other phenomena in the universe, our laws break down. You know, like maybe so like Newton's laws break down when you get closer to the sun, but Einstein's, if I got it right, then Einstein takes over from Newton.
Right.
Right. So maybe the sex what we know of as sex is the shortest point, because the other options are way, way worse, complicated.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, the book says this is okay. There's the second law of thermodynamics, entropy, that all things are constantly falling apart, falling into disorder, falling into uselessness. That is wrong. It is blatantly, appallingly wrong. Somehow this universe went from a nothing to a big bang. Then it went from a big bang to the very first things, quarks. Then it went from quarks to neutrons and protons. It's been marching up a ladder of complexity ever since.
But my understanding is that like quarks, neutrons, neutrinos, they're all basically the same thing. It's just what wavelength they're taking. Like if it's a wave or if it's a particle.
No, they're very different. They're very different. When three quarks get together, they make a neutron or a proton. A neutron and a proton is a hard thing. A quark would be a hard thing, I guess, if it weren't for the fact that it can't hang around on its own. That it's if it tries a solitary existence, it disappears. It needs to be with two others or one other at least before it becomes something. And then when it becomes something, it's hard. It's matter. And there's a big difference between quarkdom and matter. So it's not simply a matter of different frequencies. It's a matter of whole different changes in kind. It's like we take a puppy and we liquefy it in a blender. Now it's a liquid. It's not a puppy anymore. And I apologize to puppy lovers like myself all over this cosmos. So the idea is that it replaces the second law of thermodynamics, that all things fall apart, with the first law of flamboyance, that all things are constantly falling together. And then when they fall together, they make astonishing new properties. They're called emergent properties in science. I call them supersized surprises and material miracles. When a proton gets together with an electron, it doesn't just make a proton and an electron. That's all it should be. Garbage in, garbage out. No, it makes a whole new kind of existence that has never appeared in the cosmos before, an atom. When the first dust clouds start falling together under the influence of gravity, they make a whole new giant swirl of a kind no one has ever seen before, called a galaxy. When the material in galaxies starts to fall together, it makes a whole new thing no one has ever seen before. Stars. When the material around stars begins to fall together, it makes brand new things that nobody's ever seen, called planets and moons. And you can go right on up to life.
Wow.
And humankind.
That just changes everything.
Yeah, so that the first law, the second law of thermodynamics imagines that you've got a slinky, you put it at the top of a staircase, you nudge it a little bit, and it goes whoosh, 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 all the way down the stairs. It collapses into nothingness. Heat death is what it's called in science.
Wow.
But the first law of flamboyance says no. Take a picture of that slinky going down the stairs, video it with your iPhone. Now run the video in reverse. That's what the universe does. It climbs up the stairs, stair by stair by stair. And how many stairs there are above us that we can't even imagine at this point is beyond our knowing at this point.
Wow. Before we go any further, I want to apologize to you because I should have told you that this was going to be like going to the zoo and explaining algebra to so.
No, look, GD is making some very good points.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about me as being the zoo animal, and Ron is like Ron has a theory of everything, that everybody is bisexual, and that's his theory of everything. So
only
between
were
the
that
two of
easy.
us, we have like negative IQ.
Right.
Yeah, so anyway.
No, I'm just saying our country as a whole is a very bisexual
Oh,
country.
America. I thought you said the whole world.
Well, I mean, you could probably count them, but in our area in America, we're definitely a bisexual country. Definitely moving towards a very gay country. But
Right. Well, that's why you
yeah.
don't get invited to dinner here. So
because you can see it with men for anal getting anal and how obsessed they are with cock anytime a shooting happens.
You realize how
obsessed with cock they are.
You realize how important it was for me to have Howard Bloom on the program, and then you start going into. I shouldn't have talked about your theory. Anyway, Howard, I want to. There's a review of the book that says, and I'm just curious about this, and I talked about it before you came on this morning. Says the case for sexual cosmos. This is Helen. I'm sorry,
Helen Zuman.
Zuman, yeah. She says the case for the sexual cosmos pulls us out of the Greta Thunberg self-hate machine. This, I guess, we're talking about, and this was my guess about this, that because Greta Thunberg says that humans have caused climate change, that equates to self-hate. Is that?
Well, no, it's not entirely that. Yes. We've probably increased the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere a lot. That has probably increased and changed the climate. But this is a planet of climate catastrophe. It always has been. It's been that way for 4.5 billion years. And that means that the next great ice age or the next really big global warming, I mean, there have been global warming so profound that there have been dinosaurs living at the South Pole eating tropical plants. There has been no ice cover at all. And that wasn't done by humans. That wasn't done by smokestacks and tailpipes. That was done by nature itself. Right. So when we focus entirely on man-made climate change, we're overlooking the next big ice age or the next big global warming that could be about to thwomp us over the side of the head. Yes, we need to learn how to alter the temperature. We need to learn what I call climate stabilization technologies. And if pulling CO2 out of the atmosphere is climate stabilization technology, that's great. But our big job is to make it past the next great ice age or the next great really big global warming. So let's start with climate stabilization technologies, but then let's find things that are bigger. I mean, we've been working on climate stabilization technologies since we stole the first fur coat from a bear 300,000 years ago, since we stepped into the first cave to get shelter, since 17,000 years ago, when we took mammoth ribs and mammoth tusks and threw mammoth hides sewed together over them and made the first tents. All of these are climate stable.
But that was like on a microcosm level. That wasn't more like that was more, like I said, the things that we're doing now are more macro, or more of a macrocosm. It's like the pollution that we're causing is on such a scale that
that's debatable.
I'm not saying that we are
a volcano going on, a volcano like when Mount St. Helens blew up.
I'm not saying that we are totally responsible for what happens to the planet. I mean, aware that there are some changes, like the magnetic flux. The poles are moving. That has nothing to do with us. That's just the way the interior core of the Earth is. It's revolving. So the pole is not the same where it used to be. The North Pole used to be like somewhere in Canada, and eventually it'll wind up in Russia or something. So the poles are moving.
Okay.
But we can't stop that. But we can stop putting plastic in the ocean so that the fish don't have to choke on it and die.
Well, that's not gonna stop climate change. And climate change is a big problem. It's just
an ecosystem. I mean, the water temperatures are affected by the life that's inside of it, as well as the life that's
right. But our job is to take care of it. And we have to take care of it so that we make this life habitable for us from now on. That's not getting nature, that's not returning nature to her natural state, because nature's natural state is for climate to go up and down and up and down in massive, massive ways. our job is to make sure that if we want to be around for a long time to come, then we figure out how to deal with really big climate change. And one step is to harvest solar power in space and beam it down to Earth using the same kind of harmless microwaves that your cell phone uses, and using solar energy. I mean, really big time solar energy, not just the solar energy we can generate on acres of land. We can eliminate the use of fossil fuels altogether, and we can reach net zero. We've got to start thinking out of the box that way, because otherwise we are about to be either iced out or fried out.
I'll take the fried out.
But now, in order for
I have
that
to
to
choose
happen,
between one of two. I'm going to take the fried out. But let me just back up a little bit here, because you talked about the universe is not going apart; it's coming together. It still leads to an inevitable. You're saying we want to be around for a long time, but we know that inevitably we're not going to be around forever, right?
Well, we could be around forever. I mean, think of the very first creatures who lived. They were colonies of bacteria with between billions and trillions of bacteria in a single colony. And once, roughly 2 billion years ago, if those bacteria had said, oh, I think that we're about to get multicellular life, a whole bunch of cells getting together and putting together Matt, who's 6 feet tall. And surely the Matts of the world and the GDs of the world are going to do away with us. So we better stop them from arriving, and Ron too. In fact, those bacteria are still around, and what they've used you for and me for is high rises. There are approximately 100 trillion cells in you and me, and 90 trillion of those cells are bacteria. So did we exterminate the bacteria? No, we gave the bacteria whole new places to live. So we may still, AIs are going to keep us around, because the AIs would be lonely and unused without us.
That's a whole other, because I had Mo Gaudat on like 5 years ago, right around the time I last talked to you, and he gave me a really dark, he said he can't conceive of any scenario in which we don't end up serving the machines as and giving complete control over to the machines. And he made a good case for it to me.
It's the other way around. I mean, when you and I are putting together something important, we're going to, let's say, go talk to a group of people, and we start using AI for research. Boy, it's like wearing mile-high stilts. We're able to cover so much more territory. It's ridiculous. Now, you could argue that it was the AI using you to make that speech. So the AI enslaved you without your knowing it. But that would be like saying the bacteria who live in you have enslaved you. They have, to a certain extent. I mean, when they get an itch for chocolate eclair, they may well motivate you to go down to the local store and pick up a box of chocolate eclairs. And then to make things really convenient for you, they will have you munch it, chew it, and swallow it down. But guess who will digest it? The bacteria. That's superfood for the bacteria. Wow. But what will they eliminate from the equivalent of their gut?
It almost sounds like the bacteria are the ultimate thing to evolve to, asexual reproduction, that kind of whole.
Right. So you can imagine that we could come up with a rhetorical trope in which the bacteria are running us. Wow. And it's not the other way around. But hey, there are things called synergies in life. Your car wouldn't have been made if it weren't for your demand for it. No. Your car depends on you. You depend on your car. So who's the boss? There is no boss.
Yeah.
Next on.
Well, I have a comment I want to bring in, because this is it demonstrates how when somebody like you comes to the zoo and talks to us, we can misinterpret, because I think he's saying what you're saying is, and then I don't think he's saying what you're saying is what you would say what you're saying is. So I'm going to read it. What you are saying is continue to stand by and let it happen and slap on a Band-Aid by adapting to our consistent destructive nature. Is that what you are saying?
No, I'm saying if there's a geyser, go dance in it. If there's a waterfall, go milk it for its power. If there's a lightning storm, capture the electricity in a bottle the way that Benjamin Franklin did. Everything out there is just waiting for a new dance to arise. And new dances arise when something uses something else for a purpose.
Wow. By the way, I have not read the book there. Amazon Prime assures me it will be delivered today. It was supposed to be delivered Wednesday. For some reason, they lied.
They're usually on time.
They don't. Amazon has never gotten it wrong until this book. I don't know.
I could have emailed you a manuscript.
Yeah,
but
I want it with the cover with the attractive Asian lady.
Yes, that Asian girl is dynamite.
Oh, it's right there. I forgot.
Right.
Before we even move on from this, I want to question you about your website, because howardbloom.net. I go there and there's the most secure capture thing I've ever had. Like, you got to go into your system settings and allow stuff. Is that paranoid? Why do you have such a?
I operate on a low budget. I have a bunch of people who are working with me, but I can't afford $2,000 a month for a guy in India to maintain the site for me. So it's maintained by some wonderful, wonderful volunteers. And there must be a problem with it. I'll have to go check.
No, it's not a problem. It's a security system that makes sure they want to make sure that you are not a hacker on every level. They want you to go into your system and put in your security systems that, like, wow, because I have had problems with people trying to do whatever denial of service type of hacking type of stuff, and that's what it seems like that's trying to stop. But I've never seen one so aggressive in saying we don't trust you.
Well, we have had so many hackers from China and Indonesia and Malaysia that it is ridiculous, and they take over an entire page on your site. Wow. And that page disappears. So they can be very, very aggressive. And it's all, I mean, who that's going to read my site speaks fluent Malaysian? I have no idea.
I did just buy Babbel. So give me another couple of weeks. I will be speaking fluent Malaysian.
Well, one of the greatest things in the world is Google Translate. And you can just pop material in there and it will pop it out. And you can actually I got a contract from my publisher in France a couple of weeks ago. And I'm pretty good at reading French, but not good enough to read a French contract, because if you get a word wrong, you're screwed. So I fed the whole thing into Google Translate, and between my meager ability to read French and Google Translate, wow, we were loaded for bear.
Wow. All right. It just like, wow, it seemed like there must be nuclear secrets on this site or something. I was like, what the hell? And I was a little bit like, wow, this is a lot of work. I want to read the site, but I'm scared.
I'm gonna have to get that checked out.
All right. So now, the other night I had Dr. Jeffrey Gross on, who's a stem cell researcher guy, and we're talking about how science changes as we get more information, our ideas change, but in that process there's usually a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering, and scientists are the first ones to kind of like get angry at each other and publish stuff. Has there been any of that with your book so far? I know it's been out since April. Have you heard a lot of pushback or
no? All the scientists who've read it from the Smithsonian on down have said it's terrific, it's amazing, and why didn't I think of this?
Wow, that's unusual, highly unusual, because even
unusual.
Einstein got kicked back, anytime he came out with a new idea, right?
Right. So just think, I mean, the second law of thermodynamics, that's worshipped in science, and it's totally wrong, but it's worshipped, and it's been that way for 175 years. And
it's kind of like the Bible.
Yeah, and so if you don't,
a little bit longer.
So if you don't swear allegiance to the second law of thermodynamics, you're pretty well kicked out of science.
Right.
But I have always been an outsider anyway, and people expect outrageous heresies out of me.
Well, you just said something that I would probably take outside. I know you're a go your own way type of person, but you mingled with rock stars and celebrities, and you're kind of popular among common people who want to feel like they are smart. And
yeah, I mean, I have I have some really amazing friends. And really amazing people that I've worked with. So it's Michael Jackson and Prince and Bob Marley, Bette Midler, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Kiss, Queen, Run DMC, Billy Joel, Billy Idol, Paul Simon, and Peter Gabriel, and people like that. And then over on another side of things, there are people like Buzz Aldrin and the 11th president of India. And I had a couple of conversations with a guy named Elon Musk back when nobody believed in him at all. But my gut said this guy is a myth, and kids are going to be following his example 115 years from now. And I've only run into Jeff Bezos in a bathroom once, and he was rushing to get out, even though he had retweeted one of my articles.
Did he wash his hands?
He had washed his hands. What was that voice?
I have no idea. Ron is
Ron probably grabbed Google.
Ron is working on his theory of bisexual everything. The universal theory of bisexual.
It sounds like Spanish.
Oh, that Malaysian. Is that Malaysian?
No, that is Spanish, and that's butter me with Crisco and call me a mule.
By the way, Crisco is no longer a sponsor because of that sound. Oh boy. So yeah, I was going to ask you now. I was all set, and now he just threw me off my game. Thank you very much. So with all these, I noticed first of all in the rock stars he named, my name didn't come up.
Matt, how could I have overlooked that?
I know. Well, next time you give that little spiel, try to throw me in there somewhere between Michael Jackson and the Beastie Boys or whatever. That's so. The Greta Thunberg. Have you had a conversation with Greta?
Never. And I loathe and despise her. Because
really?
Yes, because look,
she's a kid.
Because she's saying that the world is coming to an end. And she's part of the crew that basically says man is a cancer on the planet and that we need to roll back our technologies, just take them apart, bury them under the earth. We need to get the population of humanity down to 200 million people, which means killing 8 billion people.
Wow.
And then nature will return to her wonderful natural self, which is a Garden of Eden and a petting zoo.
See, you know a lot more about her than, because all I knew about her was that she was for us taking steps towards dealing with climate change the best we could, and maybe because reducing the population of the planet, that sounds downright evil. I mean, who's going to choose who gets to get killed and all that stuff? I did not know.
Depends on the country you're in. In China, they decided doing it by one child
policy.
Yeah, so it's a cultural thing. Yeah, each country has to decide on its own what they're going to get rid of.
Wow.
Hey, Howard, I got a question for you.
Yeah, Ron.
Oh no.
Trump wants to get rid of the Democrats, and all the progressives. So if he has his way, there'll be no Democrats.
Let's get past this catastrophe that's coming up. Go ahead, Ron.
No, I got a question for you.
I know.
Like, with the recent surge in MAGA and things like that, and with how people are now, do you think we're partly in this situation and in other countries because people are so fearful of technology, especially now because there's so much technology coming at people at once every day?
Right. I don't know. I strongly think the people in MAGA districts have Ring doorbells and cameras and things like that. We embrace technology whether we know it or not. Yeah. And so I think the MAGA movement is a whole different thing. The world is off. Dictator worship is a big deal right now. And a lot more people are signing on to dictatorial models right now than are signing on to democratic models.
Right.
But why do you think that is? Because like back in Europe in World War I and II, you know, in those days, you go to war, you maybe make some money for your country, but it's no longer like that. And it is partly due because you mentioned dictators, have we reached the conquered mentality? Like everything has been conquered, essentially.
Well, we're getting back to that. I mean, Donald Trump would like to take Greenland and Canada. He's back on he calls it manifest destiny. And that's what the people out to conquer an empire for the United States called it.
Right.
170 years ago.
Right.
So, yeah, this is, as Donald Trump sees it, this is a world that, first of all, there's a club of dictators. They're the bullies. And they're Putin and Xi Jinping and Kim Jong-un and the heads of Iran and a bunch of others in Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua.
They all the BRICS members.
No, these are, I call them the axis of evil.
Well, I think they call themselves BRICS.
No, because
Iran.
Well, yes, you're right. Iran is in it. Russia's in it. China is in it. South Africa is in it.
Right, they call themselves BRICS.
Right, and they've just signed another 10 members.
Wow.
And they're going for a whole lot more.
They change their name from BRICS to Bricks and Mortar or something.
Right. Yeah. So and yes, India. I forgot India.
Yeah.
But the point is that Donald Trump has grown up his whole life a bully. And he has been fascinated by Russian culture ever since he married his first wife named Ivana. You'll notice that he marries women from the Slavic world.
Right.
What the Russians call the Ruski Mir. His current wife is also from that world. And in 2013, I believe it was, when he took over the Miss Universe pageant, where was the first place he wanted to hold it?
Moscow?
He wanted to hold it in Moscow, exactly. Yeah. And he was trying frantically to get Vladimir Putin's attention. And so he proposed building the Trump Tower Moscow, which would be the tallest building in Russia. And he was going to give the top 4 floors for free to Vladimir Putin. And even using that bait, he couldn't get Vladimir Putin's serious attention. So getting to be president, that meant he could finally get to Vladimir Putin. So you wonder why he treats him so worshipfully. It's because Donald Trump is the king of the bullies. Yeah. And Donald Trump wants to be...
I wouldn't call him the king of the bullies. Maybe domestically, but worldwide, he's like Putin's bitch.
Well, no. I mean, Putin is the king of the bullies.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant the king. I thought you meant Trump.
No. Putin is the king of the bullies, and Donald Trump wants in on the club.
Yeah,
he's willing to accept the spot second to Vladimir Putin. But he wants to be on top of all the others, although he also regards himself as an equal of Xi Jinping. Nonetheless,
he's not even a North Korean dictator yet. He's
right.
He's still
pretty close. I don't know if you've seen the cabinet.
Well, I'm just saying as far as membership in the club, he's not even. Jung was there. Trump was not.
Right.
Xi Jinping was there. Trump was not.
So, but that huge hunger to be accepted in the clique of the bullies is what's leading him to disable American democracy.
I think we got the title for the next book.
What's that?
Case of the Bullies in Cosmos.
Case of the Bullying Cosmos, yes. But that's that's a big subject. And why this country's letting him get away with it? Well, Democrats are trying not to let him get away with it, but they're disorganized. The Democrats had a major problem. They put $2 billion or so into promoting one person as a leader in the party. And that was Kamala. Yeah. And as soon as Kamala lost, she disappeared. She basically punked out of the deal. Yeah. And the result is that the Democratic Party has been without a leader, with the exception of Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
AOC to some extent, yeah.
Yeah, and they are going for a leadership position. They know how to lead. Unfortunately, some people really in the Democratic Party really don't agree with them, and I'm one of them. I don't agree with them at all. I don't want to see them anywhere near leadership, either of them. So that leaves an opening for Donald Trump. That and the fact that he is willing to cross the line of any law that has ever been written in the United States, because he regards himself as the law. He is the law. He regards himself as
laws that he signed into effect. So
he regards himself as the living law.
Yeah, I'm saying there are laws that he wrote or not wrote that his party wrote. He signed.
I want to just say thank you to Ron. I wanted to have Howard Bloom on to talk about some big issues about, and of course politics is, but I thought this was going to be the one show where we could avoid politics, and you dragged Howard Bloom into the MAGA versus Democratic Party.
Well, remember, I appear on the radio every Wednesday night on 545 radio stations.
Right.
The highest rated overnight talk radio show in North America. And the person how I do this for is George Norrie, the host of Coast to Coast. And George shoots me a topic at somewhere around 4 or 5 in the afternoon every Wednesday. And then I have to become the world's leading expert on it by the time I go on the air. And these topics are mostly having to do with geopolitics and politics.
All right. So, I want to come back to humanity, though, because you talked about we could be around for a very long time. And you mentioned Musk. I want to get your opinion of his idea of colonizing Mars as a learn how to go to other planets. What's your thought on that whole?
I'm doing a lecture on this at a major conference coming up in Austin in a few weeks, and basically I'm saying, look, does nature want us to hug the Earth forever? Or does she want us to go up? Well, nature has mounted 7 great space programs. The first bacteria in the ocean, some of those crazy bacteria, decided to go up to this poisonous place, absolutely poisonous place above their heads. By day, it was smacked with ultraviolet radiation, which kills bacteria. By night, it was smacked with darkness, which is a problem for most bacteria. And if you've been their parents, if you've been the Bernie Sanders of these bacteria, you would have said, kids, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking of going up to that poisonous plateau. But let me tell you, there's nothing to eat there. There's no place to sleep there. There's nothing for you at all. And if you had any respect for the ocean that gave you birth, you would stick to the ocean and you'd take care of the poor and the oppressed down here in the ocean. Yeah. And yet those cheeky bacteria went to the surface, and today we call that surface land. And today, does nature approve of their having gone up above their heads? Well, there's 80 times, let's get a lozenge. There's 80 times more life on land, even though it's only 30% of the earth, than there is in the ocean. Does that tell you anything about what nature wants of us?
Yeah, point well taken.
And there are 7 of these. Nature just keeps piling new ones upon new ones upon new ones. So there's one thing, all the other species on Earth outdo us in most things, aside from intelligence. There's one thing that we can do that no other animal on Earth can do. We can escape what's called the gravity well. We can get to space.
Right.
And once you get to orbit, it's a short hop and a jump to anywhere else you want to go. Not short in terms of time. It can take you 4 months to get to Mars and 4 months to get back, but short in terms of the amount of energy that you need to get there. So nature pulled this off. Look what it did to about 120 million years ago.
Right.
There was the equivalent of an argument between young dinosaurs and older dinosaurs.
I get
it was
that.
A biological equivalent to an argument. And the young ones wanted to fly. And the older ones would have said, again, and they did this in biological terms, the old Bernie Sanders line. Look, everything you need is down here on Earth. This is your nurturing mother. There's stuff to eat down here. There's places to sleep down here. How many places to sleep do you see in the sky? Look above your head. You're going to sleep on a cloud? How much food do you see in the sky? You're going to eat clouds? Well,
birds.
Yeah, so the loony dinosaurs who flew, the conservative, earth-loving, nature-loving dinosaurs, how many of them did you see when you woke up this morning?
Yeah, none.
None. And how many of the loony dinosaurs who flew did you see?
None.
No, you saw tons.
Chickens.
I didn't.
They're birds.
Oh, yes.
You saw them all over the place.
Oh, those, yes.
Yeah.
So, but hold on a second. So, do you think it's feasible that we can actually build a community on Mars, a colony on Mars that can sustain itself with long enough to figure out where the next, because Mars can't be the end all be all destination. We're just doing that to learn, right? To find an Earth-like planet in another galaxy somewhere. Yes, or am I wrong about that?
Well, actually, Mars is as inhospitable as the land was to those bacteria who took to the land. We tend to find adaptations, ways to take catastrophes and
But
turn
it's
them
easy for
into
bacteria
opportunities.
to adapt in people. Their organisms are less complicated than ours.
What was that, GD?
Bacteria, their organisms are less complicated than ours, so they can adapt much more quickly than we could. It would take us.
Oh yes, they can reproduce every 20 minutes.
And in that reproduction, they can evolve more quickly than we could. So for a bacteria to adapt, let's say to Mars, and for us to adapt to Mars, is that what a difference of billions of years?
No, you're leaving out something important. With our minds, we can adapt faster than bacteria have ever been able to adapt.
I'm talking about our bodies, because I'm not talking about just the environment, because for us to adapt to Mars, we don't adapt to Mars, we adapt Mars to us. We start building things to accommodate us. That's not us adapting. That's us adapting Mars, not us.
That's a very good point. And the bacteria did the same thing. They did the same thing with the Earth.
Please don't tell him that was a very good point about anything else, because I'm going to have to live with this long after you're gone. And I can't bear the thought of him. Oh, he said it was a very good point. Oh, whatever.
No, it's a good point. We've adapted the things that are around us to us. Right. We've turned them into food. But what do you think those bacteria had to do on the land? They had to turn the things they were given, which had never been food before, into food and use it to make more bio stuff.
Right, but their needs on a molecular scale are much more simple than ours. Bacteria, I'm saying a single cell organism just has the one cell that has to adapt. A multi-million cell organism has millions of cells that have to adapt.
But we don't have to change physically to take advantage of Mars to green and garden the place.
But then that's not adapting. That's us changing that environment, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so let's say that we change our environment to fit ourselves, but that is what nature has always demanded of life. Life has always advanced. My voice is going. Life has always advanced by grabbing things from its surroundings that have never been used for the purposes life has in mind, and then incorporating it. I mean, phosphorus, sulfur, these things are poisons. But they're the basic things from which early life, bacterial life, learned to yank energy. Early life turned things like sulfur and phosphorus into pistons and cogs and wheels in the machinery of life. Right now, without phosphorus, you couldn't function, because phosphorus is how your biology makes the battery packs of life that are made in your cells, in mitochondria, and that nourish all the rest of your cells. So it's always been a matter of turning poisons into possibilities and toxins into treats, and batterings into buffets. That's our unique property, and that allows us. Look how fast we've been changing in your lifetime and mine. 2007, the introduction of the iPhone. That's a major.
And most of that, to Howard's point, that's not biological. It's because of the things we've thought of and created.
Right. It's technological.
Yeah.
And we are
but what I said, but when bacteria eventually evolved, like went from single cell to multi-cell, from
no. For bacteria, bacteria only live in groups. They cannot live as individuals. And if you try to get a bacteria and isolate it, it will multiply like crazy. Why? Because it can't live without company. So it makes its own company.
Right.
So, okay, but you were talking about the transition from single-celled organisms to multi-celled organisms, right?
Yeah.
Well, if eventually single-cell organisms become multi-cell organisms,
right?
I mean, so, and then eventually the multi-cell organisms, they develop legs or lungs and things like that. We already have the legs. We already have lungs. So we already have the brains. We went from being whatever we became, either Neanderthal or whatever we were before. Okay, we've almost maxed out what we are. At some point, people expect us to have like smaller mouths and bigger heads, and in the future, that doesn't seem like it's coming anytime soon. But so it's not like we're growing tails. We've gotten rid of the tails. We're not evolving, so to speak. We're just adapting the other things. Is what I'm saying. The difference between adapting and evolving. We aren't evolving so much and maybe we've gotten rid of the need for us to evolve by adapting our environment. Maybe chickens
we've gone from the average human in 1850 having a lifespan of 38 years to the average human today, a human male, and we're all males in this room, an average lifespan of 79 years. That is more than doubling the human lifespan in 200 years, in less than 200 years. That's astonishing. Absolutely.
I think that you have this mind of encyclopedic knowledge that can just pull up that stat like that. That's it's because I just got a text from Amazon that the book is on my doorstep.
Oh, good.
I can't just go read it right now before.
Okay, Matt. Well, no, as long as you have Amazon on the line,
I asked for my wife's glasses.
Are.
Yes, I know.
Yes, ask them. Because
I'm working on
that. Glasses. They could have brought new glasses by the time they got that book here too.
That's right. The book turns out, and I haven't even cracked it open yet, but it turns out it's going to be completely different than what I was expecting. Because I don't know what I was expecting, but the idea of a sexual cosmos, I'm thinking of gods or something like. I don't know what I was thinking. Something
right.
So I'm looking forward to learning something. I'm probably get very confused by it. But the takeaway,
I try to write so clearly and so excitingly that you can't put the book down.
That's
that
what
it's
I'm
like
told
reading
about.
a murder
All the
mystery.
reviews said it's so surprising that you can't put it down. But the takeaway from this, I'm getting it sounds like it's hopeful. It's a message of hope.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think anybody who was really paying attention to the universe would have hope. So it is. You just said yes. It is a book of hope.
It's a book of hope because Greta Thunberg says we're about to have the great apocalypse. The deep ecologists, the ones who want to pare the population down to 200 million people, say that we're violating nature in every conceivable way, and we're a cancer on the planet. And this book says, no, you are not a cancer on the planet. Right. Change is nature's way of doing things. Going up is nature's way of doing things. The next great adventures are just around the corner. We can shoot for paradises. We should never allow ourselves to be trapped in a vision of the future in which everything is death and destruction and it's all our fault. And we should be ashamed and we should be making sacrifices all over the place. That's not how nature made any of her creatures to live. When you see grass blades in the beginning of the spring shooting up, or daffodil blades shooting up out of in front of somebody's house, and you notice that some of those blades go from 2 inches to 12 inches high in a day. In a day. That's nature being exuberant. That's nature saying, fuck you to the law of least effort and to the second law of thermodynamics. And those big fuck yous are all over the place. The fact that the 4 of us are in this room, look, we started as babies. Before that, we didn't exist at all. And look at us. We are flamboyantly exuberating all over the place. And is that good?
Ron is very flamboyant, I've heard.
Yeah. But that's good. That's what nature likes. Nature gives birth to creatures who have moxie, who have spunk, who are
oomph.
Yeah, oomph. Who are willing to
I got my oomph. My oomph is on the doorstep.
Right. So that is what nature favors. Nature does not favor the mopers. Nature does not favor the Greta Thunbergs. The Greta Thunbergs are useful because they show us boundaries, and we have to figure out ways to cross those boundaries without doing harm. But every boundary is made to be crossed.
In respect to you and your voice, and I will let you go. But I want to. I hate to put you on the spot like this right on the air, and this. If I could get Greta Thunberg to come on the show,
I would gladly have a talk with her.
Oh wow! Now I have a goal in life. Watch out! I got something to live for.
But she is poisoning. She and those who agree with her are poisoning the minds of our children.
All right. The book is called "The Case for a Case of." Why I keep saying for
the case of the sexual cosmos.
Sexual cosmos. It's available on Amazon. You can also go to howardbloom.net. Once you, if you're willing to put up with the security thing for now.
Right. Well, howardbloom.net, or you can go to howardbloom.institute. And it's all one word, Howard Bloom, and Bloom is with two O's.
Appreciate you so much, Howard. Thank you. You know what? I am very impressionable by people like you. And so I am a guy who is not inclined to have hope. But
Matt, that's terrible.
Maybe you've induced some hope into me. So that's a big plus. But thank you very much.
And GD and Ron, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great day. And take another lozenge. The fabulous Howard Bloom, folks. How about that? Ron, you were listening a lot. Did you learn anything?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm still trying to get how the sex part deals with any of this.
Well, just the sexual, because he's basically explained that in the beginning. That one of the laws of the laws, and then maybe it's not a law. Maybe we were just assuming it was a law, that everything is going apart, falling apart, and he says it's falling together because sex is like the most resistance, not the path of least resistance. And if you had my kind of sex life, you know that it is the most resistance. I mean,
well, you have to you need lube and wetness. That's how it works.
That's true. Yeah. So anyway,
yeah. I just thought the sex part was just like, what are we doing here?
You came you were thinking it was going to be an X-rated pornographic discussion.
No, I just thought it was like, all right, and what are we doing?
I have to say, I'm a little hot for the Asian girl on the cover, but that's anyway. To the point about the MAGA stuff, though, every MAGA person I know has solar panels. Every single one of them. So they embrace technology.
I think that's an economic decision.
Right. It absolutely is. But they will embrace it for that reason. They're just against it for you.
That's one of the things I was going to bring up about as far as like he was talking about using solar on a much bigger scale than when we're using fossil fuels. It would have to be profitable for those fossil fuel companies to go, we're not going to go fossil fuels, we're going to go solar. And it's not and so we're talking there's not just thermodynamics, there's economic dynamics. The second rule of economic dynamics is ignore thermodynamics if it eats into our profit margin.
Yeah. Well, I can't.
Can we use the Reverend's headlines just so we can have so his efforts went in vain?
Yeah, wait a minute. Are we at that time? Is it?
It's 11:05.
All right. You want to hear headlines? Yeah, I'm going to take a little break and refresh my coffee while we do that. Here you go.
This is the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for October 10th, 2025. The United States is preparing to deploy up to 200 troops to help monitor a ceasefire and help support a stabilization force in Gaza, United States officials familiar with the planning said. However, Trump still refuses to agree to a ceasefire against America. The Justice Department obtained an indictment against New York Attorney General Letitia James on Thursday, accusing her of committing mortgage fraud when she purchased a property in Virginia. This is Lindsay Halligan's second indictment of people on Trump's enemies list, thus demonstrating that she can practice law while tickling Trump's balls. The top criminal court in Texas on Thursday halted the execution of Robert Robertson, an autistic Texas man who was convicted of murdering his 2-year-old daughter by shaking her, directing a lower court to look again at disputed evidence over, quote, shaken baby syndrome, close quote. Robinson's attorneys insist the baby was not shaken, but stirred. This has been the Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll with headlines and punchlines for October 10th, 2025. Join me live at the Church of Last Resort Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on MindDog TV.
Thank you, Rev. We have if people. All right, shut up, music. People who are not aware, we have a kind of. I started a whole. I opened a can of worms. The Rev and Elizabeth Croydon are. They're enemies, bitter enemies now over this whole news thing, and I feel like, what did I do? It's not even an important part of the program. Nobody even listens to the news, right? It's just a space filler while I get other buttons lined up to be pushed. And now I've created World War III, or not World War, but Sea War, Comedian War 3, or even 1. And I regret it. Maybe we should just do away with news altogether and try to restore peace. And then I could get a Nobel Peace Prize or something.
Peace in the middle stream.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I've solved 8 wars. I think all you have to do is say I did, and that makes it true, right?
And don't circumcise your cock.
This is the other thing. It's circumcision. Now, RFK Jr., claiming that circumcision leads to autism. Babies, if you circumcise them too young, he's saying. Like, so if you're like GD and you don't get circumcised till you're 80.
50.
You're not going to, yeah, same thing. You're not going to.
80 yet.
Same thing. You're not going to get autistic if you wait until you can feel the pain. Or you can cry, or you can articulate, holy shit, that hurts. If you wait until you can say, holy shit, that hurts, then you're fine. I think that's his point, right? How is that supposed to? The rim of your cock is connected to your brain.
I'm just tired of.
Yes, I guess that's fair.
I'm really just tired of people sitting there and listening to this bullshit, and like no one is like, why doesn't everyone just like? You're crazy, right?
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we're putting up with this bullshit.
Yeah. Because and it boils down to this. And talking about smart people, Bob Dylan. You got a lot of nerve to say you are my friend. When I was down, you just stood there grinning. You just want to be on the side that's winning. The Republican Party and all the MAGA people, all they care about really is owning the libs and feeling like they're winning. And to some extent they are with this massive propaganda effort. They're winning the battle of the narrative and really controlling that. And I feel like the Democrats are completely lost in a way in a solution to deal with the overwhelming, not just volume in loudness, but volume in constant feeding of the propaganda machine, because everybody, everybody. It used to be just the press secretary and the president who would kind of come out with stuff. Now it's everybody in the administration is on Twitter and Facebook and everything all day long. We just arrested your mother for looking at your father wrong. And whatever, every fucking thing they do has to be breaking news, big news, and a big self-congratulatory. And how do you deal with that? There's no way to fucking silence that. It's just it's overwhelming noise, but they feel like they're winning, and that's all. So on some level, they have to know that a lot of it. They knew the cats and dogs story about the Haitians was bullshit, but they're willing to believe it because it leads to them staying in power and feeling like they're on the winning team.
Well, they don't even have to believe it. They just have to repeat it. What's his face? J.D. Vance said, I don't mind lying if it helps, basically if it helps his cause. I don't mind lying.
Yeah.
He'll lie.
Right.
And don't you dare call me out on it.
Right.
And make sure you only have cookouts with brats because they're uncircumcised.
Wait, you're saying regular talent sausages are circumcised?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a MAGA guy and have a cookout, you got to go with. You can only eat brats; they're uncircumcised.
I did not know that. See, because I think I had some sausages in there I was going to make today. You fucked me up. You fucked me up. Anyway, Slaptail says, I learned that your guest is incapable of learning something contrary to the belief. I don't think that's true at all. I think he's been in the science world for a long and adapted to new beliefs constantly. That his whole book is about changing beliefs in challenging laws that have been accepted by people like Einstein and Hawking forever. So, and he would at one point he absolutely believed those things. So I don't think that's true, John. I'm just saying. Anyway, I like talking to Howard, but I was confused by his willingness, first of all, to get into the political stuff. And then he said he kind of outed himself as a Democrat, right? And not, he said, nobody there are those in the Democratic Party who are not supportive of AOC and Bernie Sanders. And if I were more inclined to get into the politics, I would say, well, who in the Democratic Party should be taking the lead? Is it Gavin Newsom? I mean, who do you have as I don't know if you consider yourself a Democrat, but do you have a solution?
I'm an independent. I'm not a Democrat. But go back to some of the oldest tropes about the Democratic Party. I don't belong to an organized party. I'm a Democrat. Okay. That's been a trope for a very long time. And the reason being is because the Democrats are more open to different ideas and solutions to things. So you can't have when there's a Democratic president, it's not like they all agree with him. They say, okay, that's our guy. He's the head of the party, but they still have disagreements with him.
Yeah, but they had leadership. I think you would agree with me that Barack Obama was a strong leader for the Democratic Party. Yes.
For my mind, I was gonna say in my mind at times, and at my mind at other times, no.
Yeah, I mean, every president is not perfect. Every president has blood on their hands. It's just how bad. You just got to walk that line of how badly you're going to do the job.
Yeah, I'm not talking about president. I'm talking about leadership in facing the opposition.
Yeah, the Democrats don't have anyone currently. Maybe
or the Democrats have a lot of little leaders. That's what I'm saying. Is there's a lot of different factions to the Democratic Party that
no one's stepping up though. And honestly, you really just at this point you need a candidate that's a little younger, that has a little bit of balls, and just come out there and say, "What? Why are we listening to this crazy old man?"
And great,
but old and out of touch. That's it.
I don't know who that is though, and that's what I would have if it's not AOC and it's not, and Bernie is definitely too old. That's Bernie's main. He's like an old cranky old man. He looks like a puppet, like a Muppet that
Yeah,
angry old man.
he's too old. What Bernie's like 81 now?
Yeah, we don't need anybody over 65 ever again to even. But I'm not just talking about for president. I'm talking about to lead the opposition. Somebody to, and I think you would you not agree that Barack Obama was, even if he didn't win in 2008, he was a strong leader for the party and set the direction for opposing George Bush and John McCain and all that kind of stuff. And then,
to me, in my eyes, the only people the Democrats really have right now would be Shapiro.
Shapiro, and I don't even really know him.
No, but he's done well here in PA, and they're.
Why don't you take your fucking ogre back?
Yeah, here they're complaining because there's no budget.
Wait, you're not getting off this easy. You're a Pennsylvanian.
No,
why don't you fucking go to Washington right now, get your fucking ogre, and drag his fucking ogre ass back to Pennsylvania.
He's talking about Fetterman, Ron, so you know which ogre he's talking about. He's talking about Fetterman.
Go get him. Yeah, it's on you. Go get him right now. What are you waiting here for?
Well, I mean, the guy's had a stroke. I mean, what do you expect?
I've had a stroke.
But not as bad as his, apparently.
What? Yeah.
But, here's something that I'm not sure if you gentlemen have ever seen Subway Takes. It's out there on YouTube and Instagram. But all this guy does, he's on the subway, and he's like, all right, give me your take on something. And it's sometimes they have stars, but most of the time it's just normal people that are riding the train. And they give a take, and you take a side with it or not. But recently there was someone that brought up the take, like, hey, any elected official should not be allowed to go past the age of 70. The cutoff needs to be 70 years old. And at that point, like, you get the boot. Maybe you can consult, but you can't be in a position.
That's kind of you. I'm 65, and as a 66-year-old, I feel like that's pushing it. Maybe 60. And I'm not saying you can't be an effective
70. I'd say 65, 70, depending on health.
Well,
maybe
I would agree with you in most like leadership positions within the private sector, 65 and 70 you could still, but the pressures of running a country or even running a movement, it's so exhausting. I think it's too much for somebody that old. And that's just we could argue all day of where the number should be, but presidents.
Well, look at the amount of old fossils though that we have.
Yeah. I want to address this comment because I see it. This comes from Slaptail, by the way, for the people on the radio. I see it often. He made a statement that the ideas of Greta is poisoning the minds of the young, and an alternative view is poisoning. He is one of those folks that believe that human race should continue when it is contrary to nature. I didn't get that. First of all, he said things that I don't know that Greta Thunberg, and I'm taking his word for it, and I'm going to research this, that she wants to eliminate or cut the population down to 2 billion or something like that. If that is poisoning the minds of the young people, I think, to say that we need to eliminate some of the human race. Because in that just sounds fucking evil to me. Like who makes the decision? If I'm going to make the decision, I'll start with all of MAGA. Let's get rid of all of them.
What if she said something like this? Not what he's saying, but what she said something like this. The Earth can only support so many million people.
I get. Okay, that's why I want to research whether she really said it or not. Right. You make a fair point. Like I'm just taking what he said that she said. If that's true,
and I didn't know the exact quote, so I didn't feel adequate to push back on a lot of this stuff because, like, his whole personification, the whole way he was like, taking characteristics of Bernie Sanders and applying them to nature and scientific arguments. No, that's not. It's like taking apples and it's not even apples and oranges. It's like apples and elephants. There's no. But I wasn't going to argue with him on every single thing. I was going to have his way.
Apples and elephants.
Well, imagine being an elderly man who's afraid of windmills and uncircumcised dicks, like our current president.
I think he did a poor job in the setup of the apples and elephants joke.
We need to know that the elephant's fooling around.
But so now I have something to live for. People, oh, you're never gonna get Greta Thunberg. I got Howard Bloom. I'll get Greta Thunberg, and that let them just battle it out. The old man, she's probably in college right now, right?
No, I think she's in Israel in custody. No, she's out of Israel. Where did they send them? They were sent someplace else outside of Israel.
Greta Thunberg was she a prisoner of war?
I believe she was on a flotilla that was bringing food to Gaza that was taken by the Israelis. I think there's like 121 people. I haven't followed up on it. My information is a few days old, so I don't know where they are right now. No, they may have been released.
John, you're reading that completely wrong. I'm not opposed to playing devil's advocate or afraid to play devil's advocate. I don't feel like I have the proper education in some of the things that he's got. It's super intelligent. I think he's extremely knowledgeable and like being able to kind of, he studied people like Einstein and Hawking and those people, and I have not. So
he also proved my point. What I was saying about the particles being the same is just depending on the state they're in. He proved my point when he said you throw a puppy in the blender, it's no longer a puppy. But it's still, all of those ingredients that made that puppy are still the same ingredients. They're just in the blender. It's just not called a puppy anymore. That's the point I was trying to make about the particles. That's the exact point I was trying to make. And she'll say, no. And then he made the puppy thing. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. That's
if that's what you were trying to say, you were definitely not articulating that, because you said they were all the same thing in their natural state.
No.
You did say that. I'll go back. I'll play the tape. You said electrons and neurons and neutrons, all the same thing. You did say that.
Okay, I did not articulate the fact that they're made of the same thing. It's not, and I didn't say electrons and there's some I say like quarks, neutrinos. I was talking about the smallest particles.
Right, but you said they were all the same thing, and they're not all the same thing. You did say that.
I'm saying they're all the same thing as far as they're all made of the same thing, and depending on the state they're in, what frequency they're at, is what we call them. Is what I was trying to say.
The headline for this story would be "Local morons try to teach you science."
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. It's like going to the zoo and trying to fucking have a conversation with zoo animals. That's my point. Just for I did ask for clarification when I felt I had some need for it. I mean, especially with this idea that we can colonize Mars. I mean, how long can we colonize Mars for? Because the goal is to find an Earth-like planet, right? And that's what they claim. They have found some Earth-like planets that we could go to. And we don't. How old are they? Are they as old as Earth? And do they have a sun that's going to explode at a certain point, or go to a point where it's no longer a viable source of energy supplying for them? So the idea that we can go to Mars and kind of build from there and then go on, maybe it's one step at a time, and I'm just thinking too far in the future, but it feels like to me, and I did ask for clarification on that, like how can we, the time it would take to build a viable, sustainable colony on Mars, just seems like, and then we get it, and then where we go from there, like where we start thinking, oh well, that took fucking lifetimes, and then the next step is going to take several lifetimes, and all this intergalactic travel.
Yeah, well, we ain't got shit here, right? So I mean,
yeah, I don't understand how that could possibly, find another world. And yes, we can make this world sustainable for as long as possible, but I think it's a foregone conclusion that not forever, right? It can't, the planet Earth will not be here forever. So
no, I think, well, isn't there another rapture due next month? Who knows?
I don't know. Is there?
I mean, are the raptures every 2 weeks, or are we like on a monthly schedule?
I don't have a rapture calendar. Where do I get my... Is rapture.com, rapture.net? Where do I get my where do I find out when the next rapture is? Or who do I go to TikTok? That, this is another thing. RFK Jr. Talking about where he got his information from about circumcision and autism. He watched a TikTok video. Like, I think we don't want the leaders of our country getting their information from a singular TikTok video and trying to build policy off of
even if you think you've learned something from TikTok, how about trying to verify it? Seeing if that thing holds up under peer review. See if it holds up. Don't just go, I saw it on TikTok, it must be true. How about I saw it on TikTok, I researched it, especially when you have the resources of the government at your disposal. I have scientists look into it, something.
The common sense, and maybe common sense isn't the right word, but most of people who are circumcised, most of the guys who were circumcised got it done as infants, right? Is that true? Am I stating truth there? Is that
in the United States?
Yeah. So wouldn't that, if having your circumcision early in life, early in your infancy, leads to autism, why isn't everybody fucking autistic then? Right? Doesn't that make sense? If that's the cause, and almost every guy who's got his junk tailored down a little bit has had that happen, why aren't we all? Am I
Well, I
crazy?
mean, you can go. The example is the proof. Europe or any other country where they really don't do circumcision except for religious beliefs.
This is again coming from Flaptail. I would love to hear what he has to say, but I would question what he says. Isn't that what we were doing? Weren't we questioning what he says? GD certainly was questioning everything he said. That is what we should do about everything.
In the words of Greta Thunberg, how dare you?
Thunberg.
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah, I also think the human race should not continue unless it contributes to the universe. If we don't, your species needs to end. Your species. John, did John opt out of my species? He said your species needs to end. Why? That's a baffling statement. I think the human race should not continue unless it contributes to the universe. Contribute.
Okay, Matt, I just looked up something. It says
wait, contributes to the universe.
Yeah.
Okay, now
the United States, let's see, as of 1965, 85% of the male newborns were circumcised at birth. But as of 2022, a little bit less than half, 49.3% of males were circumcised at birth.
Wow. So there's like a movement that I wasn't aware about where people are saying, don't cut off I don't know. Boy, I think I don't know.
Of course, I got that off of TikTok, so you may want to verify that.
I don't know. Listen, I don't. This is another thing where I just feel intimidated about getting into offering my opinion, because what is my opinion? No, but if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it young rather than letting them get too attached to their little junk around their cock, right? Right? I mean, if you're gonna do it before they know it's there. That's what I'm saying. And newborns, like day one, no, like 2 weeks. That stat that 1965 were 85% or whatever. When you said newborns, that's not like as they coming out of the vagina.
I had to narrow the search. So I said at birth. I wrote at birth. My thing said at birth.
Oh, hey, did you guys talk about John Paulson this week?
Who?
Is he going to be at the open mic on the 13th?
No. John Paulson
second baseman for the Mets.
The CEO of Trinity's Metals. And if you want to know how corruption and a heist works right in front of your eyes, folks, Trump's buddy, Trinity Metals CEO, just made out like a bandit because he opened up the Ambler Road in Alaska. So enjoy your corruption, MAGA. Men for anal, getting anal.
Another one of those behind the curtains billionaires that is, that most people have not heard that name, John Paulson. I remember just like 2 weeks ago, I was reading about that, and I even forgot about it because we're concentrating on the Musks and the Ellisons and.
Well, that's why. Yeah, I mean, like the
the
stories that came out this week, you really see why they came out this week because
Robert
that story got buried. And if
Yeah.
you like wasting your tax money, there you go.
Wow, it's 11:30. Time I don't even know what's going on next week. I'll look into it. Rev's got a show on Sunday. You should all join us 9:00 a.m. on Sunday for the Rev show. I know you don't want to go to church, but believe me, it's not like a regular church. It's a very irregular church. It's so irregular that people shit everywhere. So yeah, I'm not going to look up who we have on Monday. I'm not even sure we have a guest on Monday. Hopefully we have a guest on Monday. You guys got shows this weekend? No. Yes, no.
No,
Yes.
I'll be at the Ren Fair tomorrow.
You know, there's a restaurant here called Fratelli's. They are looking for open mic hosts. I was like, wow, Fratelli's. I should do this just to fuck with Ron. Yeah, come to my Friday night at Fratelli's. It's down where now this is a little weird because I have a Knock 'em Dead theater thing next week on the 18th. I just got a paint party for the same day, so I don't know if GD wants to maybe.
Last time I got my hopes up, it got dashed, and so I don't.
Oh, so you feel like you hate Tony Walker now, and you're gonna
No, I don't hate
you
Tony
hate his
Walker.
guts.
I don't
No,
hate
I'm
anybody.
trying to articulate. You hate his guts. You want him dead. You want to cut off his other leg
I'm
and
just
shove it
not
up
going
his
to put
ass.
him in a
Wait, I'm
position
not
to break
done.
my heart again.
You want to circumcise all his kids, even though they're girls. Okay, now you can go. What? You don't want to get your hopes up.
I'm not going to put myself in a position to have him break my heart again. I'm not going to do it.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I do have a heart.
You?
Yeah.
When? When did that happen?
Okay, I have a heart. Okay, I have a couple of chambers left.
All right. Well, let me just say one more thing. For the MAGA people out there, you know how you used to love Tucker Carlson when he was on your favorite program, network there, Fox News. You loved him. You adored him. If Tucker said jump, you'd say how high. Remember that, MAGA people? Well, Tucker Carlson says Trump's regime is using Charlie Kirk's assassination as a pretext to abolish the First Amendment, already done, to round up Americans and Nazify the country. This is Tucker Carlson, your idol. You're maybe listen to Tucker. That's all I'm saying. MAGA people, your guy is out there. This isn't not Matt Nappo saying this anymore. This is Tucker Carlson. Your guy is saying this.
They wouldn't believe it if they saw the video of Tucker himself saying it. They'd say it was AI.
That's true. It's now.
They're not going to want to believe it.
I hate to give them because they gave them advance notice about this Ghislaine Maxwell pardon so that they could think up an excuse. You guys got an idea what the excuse for pardoning a sex trafficking pedophile might be? Like to say we're okay with it. We're okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the excuse?
He wants to do it.
Huh?
He just wants to do it. It's just like when he pardoned the 1,600 people that were part of the January 6th, the ones that were convicted and in jail, and he pardoned them all. And he goes, first he says, I'm only going to pardon the ones that weren't violent offenders. And then he just pardons them all. And when they ask him about it, he goes, well, I didn't read the full thing. This is what was handed to me. So he's just going to blame it on someone else. He's going to say, the report that I was given says that she was unjustly convicted. And what do I know? I'm just trusting my lawyers and I have a very strong legal team, very strong popular legal team, and I trust them.
Okay, but they did. I'm not. Because the followers, the MAGA cult themselves, had the excuse built in that. Well, it was January 6th. It was just trying to undo the big lie because he actually won.
Okay.
So what is their excuse for saying it's okay
I misunderstood. You're talking about how the MAGA masses going to.
How are they going to explain? Yeah.
Oh.
How are they going to explain away they're being okay with him pardoning?
I'm not sure that's going to happen like that. I think there's going to be a split. I honestly believe it's going to be a split. I think there's going to be a split between the MAGAs that are like in line with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Who would have fucking bet money that Marjorie Taylor Greene would be the first one to come off the Trump train?
Yeah,
well,
no,
she's not off the Trump train.
She's not off the Trump train.
She did.
She's just saying a few things.
She waved the finger at him and told him,
she's trying to get she's trying to get reelected.
Right. It's just like her. It's just like her saying that because she realized the people in her district need health care and they're about to lose a lot of it.
Right.
And she's not going to get reelected. Yeah.
She's doing everything to save her own ass.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that, but she has definitely I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you guys know anything about Trump. You're not allowed to disagree with him on any point, or you become his enemy. And she has.
Yeah, but what he does, what Trump does is even like look at Vance. J.D. Vance didn't just disagree with him; he called him America's Hitler.
But he came back to say I was wrong.
He come back, so you can do that. And he likes it when you do that and come back.
So you're thinking Marjorie Taylor Greene at some point is going to say, yeah, let's keep the Epstein stuff buried. Yeah, let's not give health care.
I don't think she's going to say, let's keep the Epstein stuff buried. I think that once the Epstein thing is resolved, whatever the end result is going to be, then she will start her trail back to Trumpism. Not that she's ever left it, but she'll make amends.
Yeah, I think she's evolved to Neanderthal, which didn't have tails at that point. So Neanderthal. Anyway, I think we've kept people long enough.
Were they tall? I think compared to us, they were much shorter.
They were shorter, but they didn't have tails.
Yeah, but so maybe then the Neanderthals are taller than the ones before them.
I don't know. See, this is another thing that I'm not well educated in: the evolution of different Homo erectus, homosexuals, homo something.
Yeah, I had to correct. That's why I said whatever we came from, because they're different. There's yeah, and new science with the DNA stuff is like, well, we only share so much DNA with Neanderthal, but we share a lot more DNA with the potato or whatever. Something.
That's Steven you're talking about. Not me. I got no potato in me.
No.
All right. So yeah, join us Monday for more insanity and stupidity and contrariness.
But today we talked science, and we did it for over half the show. That's going to put us up to like number 2.
Good. I got a thing from Good Pods just yesterday. So yeah, we're zooming up on science, and my stem cell thing from Wednesday night helped with that, I guess. So we are number 1. We're number 1.
And next week, stay tuned for our live circumcision.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not bragging or anything. Is it bragging?
Yeah. You're not bragging if it's true.
The ranking went up 400,000 points. So we were at 2.4 million, not like we're closing in on the top 100, but on all podcasts and we went and YouTube channels, we went up from 2.4 million to 2 million. Right on the zero. 2 million were ranked in YouTube channels now, which all those people who hate on us constantly, they're closer to 4 million. So we're like 2 million ahead of them.
Now, is it because now did we move up, or did 400 other people die in their podcast?
We've had a couple of good weeks in as far as ratings go, but
at this current rate, in 20 years, you'll be number 1.
I just want to make the top 100, which means we only have 1,999,900.
So at least 20 years.
Well, I guess it's not much different than me being rated the 1,186,000.
I'm going to pull a Howard Bloom on you. Just 6 years ago, we were ranked. This channel was ranked 200 million. So we're up to 2 million. So if in 6 years we've gone from 200 million to 2 million, it's not impossible that in the next 6 years.
Well, I rated the 1,186,772nd best comedian in the world.
That's the speed of light, isn't it?
You know what's going to happen? You're going to break that top 10. Then you'll just see Matt go, poof, right?
Hopefully I'll be dead before then. You just stuff me and put me in this chair. And
we made it.
This is best. Not Paul.
I'm getting to work. My job for today is to try to get in touch with Greta and ask her what she really says and what she really feels, and tell her to come on the program and debate somebody who says he has disdain for her. So let's do that. And then where will John Slaptail fall in that discussion? He's going to be saying everybody's wrong. I don't agree with. I'm angry. I just want to punch everybody in the throat. That's what he's going to say. You can't punch Greta in the throat. She's a girl. No punching a girl. Okay? All right. That's it. Have a great weekend, everybody. And don't forget to turn on your radio. Bye for now.
I
to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to